Oh, it's the two of us back here again. This is an 18 and up stream. Yeah,
Contains swearing, bad language, and giggling of a sexual nature.
lot of laughter. Oh man. Ugh. It's weird. Like with all the stuff I've been streaming, especially for the last month, which was very Castlevania and 2D focused. It feels kind of nice to go back to something like 3D, pre HD. You know?
Mm.
Okay. Still a cool title screen as well. I like the way just all like the colors just kind of coming from different angles to form the logo itself.
Yeah, it tells you absolutely nothing about the game, and yet it sets the tone perfectly.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's the
I've
sort of
never
thing.
seen.
It's the sort of thing that briefly inspires you to kind of mimic that technique in like in like an Adobe After Effects class in college or something,
It's
which
an
I
awfully
totally did.
specific reference, but okay.
Well, yeah, just because it was like that's the only thing that came to mind.
I've never seen a title screen just be menacing by itself without doing anything.
Yeah, just yeah.
So
This is
good.
Killer 7, the game that most I think would say is Suda's magnum opus. Still,
Mm.
it's not my favorite. I still like the first No More Heroes one more, but I mean, you cannot deny the presence this game has.
Yeah, this is a game that made him a household name, and assuming that your house is weird.
Well, yeah. It's the first time any of his games got brought over to the West. It was like this big thing for him and Grasshopper. Thanks,
Plus,
Shinji
it was
Mikami.
plus it was a mature game on the GameCube at a time where that just didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, you had some here and there. I mean, like, you had Eternal Darkness beforehand, plus Resident
Mm.
Evil Remake.
Yeah, they were still pretty few and far between at the time, though.
True. Yeah, I was still trying to shake off that stigma from the N64.
Shoot him in the hand, shoot him in the hand, shoot him in the hand.
Yeah, you're right. We're shooting in the hand.
Yes!
Like that's the sound effect that plays every time with the gunshot. Like that is the other menacing factor, you know.
Yeah, first time you hear that screech and it just scares the hell out of you.
It's like, is this an action game or is it supposed to be horror?
Yes.
Yes, yes, definitely yes. We're not going to tell you which yes that goes to. Just yes.
All of your questions will be answered except for the ones that you need answered.
Yeah, which this game definitely does not. But I mean, some of those things will obviously get there when we get there, because this game tries to go for a lot, admittedly. And I think even compared to some of Suda's other similarly dense stories, it's definitely trading a bit more just on the fact that it's got this cool aesthetic and tone more than certain things making sense. Well,
Mm.
making sense relative to the other things that he's done that weirdly make sense.
Mm. But this isn't a game that you play for a coherent story.
Yeah,
It's me. So
you're
there
going
yet?
in for a very specific
Monsieur?
vibe.
That's where they all hang
You
out.
play it for
Our
the story.
information
It's
tells us
just
that there's
what you get out
14
of
of
that
them.
story is entirely on
And
you.
they're all fun.
Nah.
And that depends even
One
further
of
if you
us
decide
can
that this is a
escort
game that is best to experience sober
Anything
or
else I should know?
just like
Nah,
just
not really.
completely out of your
You'll know
gourd.
when you see 'em, they're,
I've only ever played it sober, so I can only
Will
imagine.
do.
Same, yeah.
May the Lord smile.
I can only imagine
Lord
what
have
sort of
mercy.
weird interpretations you'd get once the edibles kick in.
Maybe I am the killer 7.
What if we all got like a third eye?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Capture their chief alive. Okay.
No, Iwazaru, we don't need to learn the controls. These things are dead simple. These are the sort of things that you could probably theoretically place all of these buttons on like a Wii remote if you wanted to.
Yeah. Probably be easier to play as well for the aiming.
Oh, yeah. Because that's, yeah, as if it wasn't already clear from this point, as per my MO with this stream, we are playing the GameCube original. Admittedly, on a Wii with component cables, because that's just really the only cost-effective way to get as close to the best image quality from the original hardware. Because, yeah, even with the alternatives out there to the official GameCube component cables, you're still going to be set back like quite a bit of money just to get that looking good.
Yeah, well, last I saw they were anywhere between 50 and 150, depending on how much you're getting ripped off.
Well, yeah, but that's for like the stuff like the Carby or Insurrection kind of third-party cables. The official ones from Nintendo from back in the day are now like in the 300s or something. It is stupid.
Wow, they have shot up in price.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. There's more than 14. Those bastards are breeding.
Did the GameCube version not have subtitles?
It did not, unfortunately.
Huh.
Yeah, it was weird because like every time that I had seen any sort of like images or GIFs from the game that like had subtitles during the cutscene, it was obviously tipped off due to the fact that it was also taken in widescreen because, oh yeah, this is the PC version. Which is like, it's probably the one thing where like I probably would have considered playing the PC version, not just for the subtitles, but also just for the fact that I want to see how much more trivial the game becomes when you use a mouse to aim instead of this control stick. But by the same token, it's like, it wouldn't be the spirit of most of this, plus also that would require me to spend money.
Yeah.
And I've already been spending quite a bit of money on other projects that I just can't really spare as much for games. Because it's like the next, like, after we did the No More Heroes 1 HD, I was thinking at a point that, you know, maybe the next time we get on to, like, do commentary for a stream, it'll be for No More Heroes 2 HD. But then I was like, no, because one, it's No More Heroes 2. And second, also because just around this time, I've been putting forward money to, like, other things. Some of that specifically, like, for future plans I have with this stream. But, so, to the point where it's like, I mean, yeah, I could get it for $20, but by the same token, I don't know how I feel about spending it on an HD version of a game I know I'm just gonna play once and never again. Whereas, like, No More Heroes 1 HD, once we finished that stream, I proceeded to go through that game again 2 more times on New Game Plus just to, like, just to get all the collectibles, but also, just to try again. You know, maybe I have gotten better that I can actually beat Henry cooldown on Bitter, which I did.
Yeah, this is really a game that you play once, and then you play it again to show your friends, like, check this your shit.
Oh yeah.
And then you play it once every 7 or 8 years just to remind yourself of how crazy it was.
Yep. And ideally, like, every time you go back to play it, it's on a new game of just regular Killer 7 and not something masochistic like Killer 8, which I've done. Yeah.
I played a bit with Young Harmon. Putting all my upgrades into him because I was like, well, if the game's not playing fair, I'm not playing fair either. And then he died, and the minigame to bring him back was nigh impossible. So I was just like, no, not playing this again.
Yeah, it's like the first time that happened to me, it was like I just reloaded the save.
Yeah.
Plus, if anything, like, despite the addition of Young Harmon in that mode, it's like, more than anything, it highlights the value of Con Smith because of his special lock-on ability, in which it always targets a weak point, which are invisible on Killer 8.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so it was like, more than that, I had to. I'm actually gonna try something, because I know this room, I'm sure as anyone that's played this, you know that it's meant for Dan because of, like, what you're supposed to use his special ability for. But, like, in practice runs of just trying to see how I would get this game to look on my stream, I did, at one point, manage to kill the Camilla Smile. Although, oh god, that's right, I keep forgetting I don't have the zoom ability. Oh wait, yes I do. I forgot. I had to press Y.
That's like her standard ability.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was something that had to be unlocked through like blood.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, she gets stuff like double tap.
Yeah.
Which has to be unlocked.
And okay, so that was showing that yes, you can kill a Camilla Smile, and it's always easy to use if you're using Kaide with her Zoom. But now back to Dan. Because his special ability we still need.
Arguably the breakout character of the game.
Yeah. Like between him and Garcian.
Oh yeah, because not Garcian shows up at the end of No More Heroes.
Oh yeah, I didn't even need to kill that extra smile just because like the Camilla gave me so much thick blood.
Collateral shot.
Yeah, with a little like electronic filter kind of over as he says it.
And then you can't see shit.
Yeah, that's why you just keep mashing the L trigger.
Just hoping for the best.
Oh, it's okay though. We still got thin blood for recovery. Man. But yeah, just the as always with Suda-directed games, you know that the gameplay is never going to be the strongest suit. And funny enough, with how people talk about this game, you would think that because they consider it his best, that like the gameplay is the least problematic. Except for the fact that just like the aiming and hit detection on those weak points are like the kind of the breaking points when you think about it.
Yeah, it's always been a bit wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Especially around the edges, because you think that you can hit the glowy part, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
The halo around it. And then it's like, nah, doesn't count.
True. Yeah, it just always has the, like, conventional wisdom makes you think, like, try and aim for, like, the dead center, but, like, it doesn't work. And that's compounded by the fact that, like, your weapons have a ton of sway. Like I'm holding it right here. Yeah. And it's not the kind of sway that feels good to, like, kind of mitigate in the same way that RE4 does, because that's a laser sight that is not glued to the dead center of the screen. Honestly, you know, the more I think about it, especially with, like, the comment I made at the start that, like, this game's controls are simple enough that you could possibly fit them all just on a Wii remote. But, like, it's the sort of thing where, like, I almost wish in some alternate universe that on top of Capcom deciding to, like, greenlight this game and its insane premise, that they would be like, you know, let's sell a light gun attachment.
Oh, like the ones from House of the Dead Overkill.
Yeah, but well, like, not even before that. Like, imagine if on the GameCube they had the idea to go, yeah, a light gun for the GameCube, because there's no other games that use this.
That's right, there weren't.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, because it's like OG Xbox had, at the very bare minimum, one, because Sega put out a port of House of the Dead 3.
There was a couple of those Cabela hunting games as well, wasn't there?
There might have been, yeah. But otherwise, it's like if you wanted light gun games on that generation, it was like PS2 was the place to go, just because, like, Namco, like, they had the popularity of Time Crisis, so they just put out, like, the GunCon 2, and it was like, that shit was on lock.
Yeah.
But I also...
Even on the PS3, you had the PlayStation Move, which could double up as a light gun.
Yeah, but, like, think about just how kind of insane this would be if this was designed as a light gun game. Like, if they basically... If Suda just went, hey, what if I made Resident Evil Dead Aim, but good? Because that is the same sort of thing where it's like... like, I really wish... at least for a brief while, when I had my CRT down when I was living in Washington, I wish I had found the time to just get Resident Evil Dead Aim and try my hands at it, because I had a GunCon 2, and I know that game is compatible with it, so I was like, man, I want to see if, like, playing it this way would give it just enough novelty to offset the fact that it's a fucking RE, like, pseudo light gun game.
Yeah, I still have my GunCon somewhere. I think it's in a bag of cables. But I'm, you know, even when I did have a CRT, much like yourself, I never got around to getting it.
Yeah, because I definitely played like both Time Crisis games that were on there, plus the plus Virtua Cop Rebirth, like that Japanese game collection of the first two.
I think the only one I had was it Ninja Assault?
Doesn't it?
Oh,
the game with the gun con.
oh god, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the only one that I actually had for it, and that was because it came with it.
Funny thing about how I got my GunCon 2, when I got the CRT and was like, yeah, I want to invest in getting light gun games. When I first got one, it was a store called Pink Gorilla, which I think anyone that is familiar with like sort of like retro game stores and like the small chains that have them like in the U.S. that might sound familiar to them. Because like
kind of sounds like a porn store to me.
Kind of
Japanese porn store.
It kind of does. I mean, it used to be called Pink Godzilla, but then they had to change it for worry of copyright, which is why like the mascot, even though it's supposed to look like a gorilla, still has some of the Godzilla isms about it.
Yeah.
But one of the things about it was that no, actually, I'll stick with Kaide for a little while, just because I do want to have an easier time getting the weak points, because it's been a while since I've touched this.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when I first got my a GunCon 2, from there, I actually had gotten it from, what was it, the Japanese version, like the black GunCon 2, not like the all-orange, because this was America. And
the one we got over here was blue.
Yeah, but it's like the one that I got, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Nailed.
Nice.
But the one I got, like, it didn't come with a Time Crisis game. It came with Dino Survivor. It came with the third Gun Survivor game that wasn't even related to Resident Evil, but Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis 2.1.
Yeah, and it's like, I almost was able to go about playing it just to see, because I had never heard of that game. Like, I kept, like, up to that point, I had only thought the only Gun Survivor type games out there were the original on PlayStation and Dead Aim, which was, I know was called, but which was of that same style. I did not know there was a second Gun Survivor that was based on Code Veronica, and I definitely did not know there was a third one based in, like, the Dino Crisis series.
See, I only found out recently that it was essentially the ending of the story in Dino Crisis 2.
Oh, yeah.
And I wish someone had told me sooner, because the ending of that game pissed me the fuck off.
Oh, dear.
Like, because I don't know if you played Dino Crisis 2 at all?
No, I've only seen parts of, like, a full playthrough just to get a sense of, like, what the gameplay was in comparison to the first game.
Ends on a massive cliffhanger.
Oh, I can see why that would piss you off, especially when Dino Crisis 3's got jack all to do with it.
Yeah, ends on a massive cliffhanger with, if I remember correctly, the island that everything takes place on being hit by like an orbital satellite laser. I can't remember off the top of my head. So I played it on normal, and I was like, oh, okay, presumably this is going to be one of those things where you have to play it on hard to get the true ending.
Nope.
And the hard mode is really difficult. You take like twice the amount of damage. Enemies take... So you take half the amount of damage. Enemies take twice. It's you know, standard hard mode bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Slogged my way through that, got the same fucking ending. I don't even think I unlocked anything, and I was like, seriously? Where's the rest of the game?
Oh.
And I was only through watching a guy called, I think it's Avalanche Reviews on YouTube.
I've heard the channel, yeah.
He's been doing a bunch of features of Resident Evil wannabes, essentially. Less survival horror games like Countdown Vampires, Galarians, you know, and obviously stuff like Eternal Darkness.
Nice.
And he covered Dino Crisis 1 and 2 because the first one was essentially Resident Evil with dinosaurs. And the second one was Resident Evil 4 with dinosaurs, even though it came out on PS1. And he was like, oh, yeah, and by the way, I need to put in a little bit of a word for Dino Survivor, because that's basically where the rest of the story happens. And I was like, you're kidding me.
That's nuts. Anyway, here's Yoon Hyun. I'd be remiss if we did not put special attention to the best part about this character.
Are we in America? Because I think I see double eagles.
Yep.
Hey.
In fact, you might even be seeing one eagle for me as a recurring thing in a few weeks. Because, yeah, it's because it's like, as far as like what I've been putting my money towards, I mentioned off and on that like just like the idea of just going the VTuber route, and I have commissioned the model, and it's currently in the process of getting rigged. And yes, part of the deal with that is that I do have a specific hand animation in which I am just flipping the bird, because I feel like there's going to be moments when I play whatever games I do for the stream where I'm like, yeah, you know what, that's bullshit, and I need some way to like better visibly show my disgust at what happens.
Well, that's just classy.
Absolutely. Oh hey, it's this kid.
Cass Bloody Sunday.
Yeah, it's a pretty dope name.
Say what you will about Suda51, he gives his characters some awesome names.
Yeah, they are just some of the most distinct character names you will ever hear in your life.
Yeah. Cass Bloody Sunday, Travis Touchdown,
Garcia fucking Hotspur.
Yeah. Garcia and Smith.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, he has a skill for names.
Definitely. Birdie.
All named after Bond girls, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, Iconoclast said so, and he was able to, like, pinpoint exactly which name referred to which Bond girl in their movies, so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not be surprised as well if, like, that totally was the intent, just because Suda will always, like, latch onto, like, a particular naming scheme and, like, run with it, even if it... Just because he likes it as an Easter egg and not because it has some deeper meaning to it, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
The dude puts references to Joy Division songs in his games. It's purely because he likes Joy Division. There's nothing more to it. And that's fine.
I mean... Killer is Dead was originally meant to be a sort of James Bond pastiche before it got messed around with.
Yeah, whereas like they just like lean way too hard like in the gigolo direction.
Because the main character was supposed to be married, like a devoted husband with kids and that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, okay, but what if Superborn?
Yeah. Coyote Smith, who uses a modified gun. I'm sorry, I think you got the description wrong. A cool guy who can pass through walls with the power of think. That is something that I did not know existed until I saw the out of context Kill the Past Twitter feed, which that is one of the I can't even recall, like, because I feel like that could not possibly have been in like the instruction manual or something. It must have been like in a preview thing where like it's just a image of Coyote Smith and it says exactly what I just said, the most Englishy sounding bullshit ever. The power of think.
It would not surprise me if that turned out to be from the short-lived comic that came out.
Maybe, I don't know. It didn't look like it was like comic art or anything is the thing.
I'm gonna have to look for this now.
Yeah, like go ahead and like feed the Google search algorithm that amazing line I just mentioned.
Oh, okay. It looks like it's from... It might actually be from Nintendo GameCube magazine.
Oh. Oh, that's definitely That's definitely a pull, yeah. Well, then again, I guess that Twitter feed was definitely living up to its name because it definitely took it out of context, and even with my knowledge of other Suda games, even that was outside of my context. Because I definitely did not have that magazine.
Yeah. Meet Coyote Smith, a man who can walk through solid objects via the power of think. There he goes again, with a gun stuck to the back of his head.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's just the text that it has, as opposed to... Like, it looks like someone's just gone through and transcripted it, rather than scanned it properly, but...
Right,
It's like that's where it's from.
It's still a pretty hilarious bit.
So what's your superpower? Think! They call me Think Hard.
Coyote Smith is actually a Mensa. I'm not sure if you realize this.
Wait here.
Oh, I think
Okay.
he's dumb just because he's Mexican. That's his motivation.
What did you say?
Yeah, what do you think just because he seems like the kind of guy that would star in a Robert Rodriguez film?
Pete.
He probably would. He probably would seem like the kind of guy that would like be in that in a film of that nature.
Yeah. Something like Desperado, I imagine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, we obviously got some serum now. It's time to do what any sensible Killer 7 player should do, which is upgrade Khan as much as possible just so you can get his lock-on ability.
I always make sure to focus everyone's waiver,
Yeah.
because it just makes getting weak points so much easier to begin with, because you're not always going to be able to use Con.
Yeah, definitely. But that's fine. Like, yeah. Everything's level 2 except for speed. That's fine. We at least got the down attack, which will be very good because there will probably be some moments where I accidentally take out a leg but not the weak point, and then I can't kill him that way.
Oh, always the case.
Definitely. But of course, this also means that he's one of the more fragile characters, so if I get, like, wombo comboed by 2 explosions, I'm gonna have to, like, retrieve his severed head.
Thankfully, because he has so little health, that's not difficult to do.
Definitely. Although this room might be a bit of a pain to do just because of what... Okay, well that's at least the... that was a lot easier to get that... Okay, this is... I'm remembering now. This is actually, like, the best way to go about... Don't just walk straight out into the middle of this intersection because, like... Even if you do realize that these 3 are on the right, it's still a bit difficult to get into position and especially lock on and get the weak points. So
Yeah, it's like, hey, it's your fan club.
yeah, so okay, yeah, this is just a lot safer to deal with.
Fuck you.
So I'm fairly certain when you walk out in front of them, like if you go too far, it triggers all 3.
Yes, that's very much the kind of trap I've had happen to me before, especially when I don't when I don't play this game for a while and kind of forget some of the important details. There's no reason not to talk to Yoon-hun when he is not like this.
It's like, hey, you're a dick, so kill this guy. Might
Yeah.
liven your day up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a dick too. He's got a bolo tie.
Well, maybe he's just really into Johnny Cash.
Yeah, who knows? Yep, laundry room's definitely gonna be a place we get to eventually, with the best character.
Best girl of Killer 7.
Oh hey, look who showed up. Sup, Raph?
Heyo.
Yeah. Glad you could arrive for some good Suda action. Oh boy. Oh, hold on.
Oh shit.
Oh god damn it, no, I should have waited.
Dangerous.
Wait, no, I didn't want to activate that move yet. What the hell? No.
Oh god, it's all gone wrong.
Oh man. Oh, we're doing good. Yeah. So
Well, we're doing good-ish.
yeah. getting used to playing. Yes, always happy to oblige. But yeah, we're getting back into the swing of playing Killer 7, the GameCube version again, because it has been like a good couple years.
Yeah, these days, if I'm wanting to go through it again, I just watch a playthrough of it.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Double kill.
Nice.
Oh, only 2 this time. Yeah. I guess maybe because you go through the, out of the bathroom, that's probably like, oh, you are at a bigger disadvantage kind of coming out of that.
The one closest to the bathroom would just, be able to get you really easily because there's a shorter length of corridor there.
Definitely. So yeah, this is definitely something we'll be back to eventually, because the other big problem with this game, its puzzles are very sub-Resident Evil.
Insultingly easy, but also involving lots of backtracking.
Oh yeah. Just stop by Harmon's room briefly, which we can also save, but also still need some more serum. Man, I'll be honest, even like with the fact that I'm like going all in with like this stream overlay with like the scanlines and such, it always amuses me how, despite the fact that this was like kind of the standard like form of TV for so long, just the fact that like it was screens like this, even if you look at like the source footage, like this TV save screen has scanlines already built into it. So it's like, do they even know like what the possible consequences are of trying to layer scanlines on top of scanlines?
Scanception. Just turns into a magic eye picture where you see Suda giving you a high five.
Yeah, because it's like, oh yeah, that's definitely something we're gonna have to deal with eventually. But first, the easiest thing to do, which is, well, not what I just did right there. I forgot you have to hover off. Yeah, this is why if you try to be good at games, you don't talk and play at the same time, but I'm committed to this lifestyle. Yay!
She's been bouncing around in there for God knows how long. She's probably pretty dizzy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is definitely another entertaining thing that if you play the Japanese version, because
the text is the voices are a lot more clear.
Yeah, and I feel like even with how jumbled they are in this game, I feel like it's tied between Susie and Travis for like them having moments where you can have an easier time telling what certain words or things they're saying.
Yeah, because I think when they put through, wasn't this the text fed into like an early version of Microsoft speech synthesis?
Yeah, it was very much like all using different forms of text to speech.
Yeah.
Ooh, just barely got him.
Nice.
Okay. Come on, can I? Nope. Oh dear. Well, still got thin blood anyway. And yeah, like I do think like the jumbled text works well enough in its favor. In all honesty, it's just like a nice kind of novel difference. Because I mean, like even with like the text to speech they do, it still sounds weird anyway. Just because it's like, it's not just that it's text to speech. It's text to speech with them speaking English.
Yeah, and I imagine whoever wrote the dialogue, English was not their first or second language.
Yeah, as someone who has listened to the unjumbled text to speech, it is very much written by a Japanese person where that is not their main language.
Yeah.
But
With Iwasaru, rather than saying we're in a tight spot. If you listen closely, he says it's close, it's very close.
Very
Which
much so, yeah.
Kind of, like, yes, the gist of it is the same, but
Dangerous.
not quite right.
I think I know what's partially tripping me up with, like, the button presses I'm doing. It's because...
Memory for another game?
Yeah, Resident Evil, mainly.
Yeah.
I keep pressing Y, thinking, like, that's gonna be, like, to bring up, like, the inventory menu or whatever, just because... I think, like, the last time I held a GameCube controller for anything was when I streamed RE4. And just because of the fact that this game, like... Yeah, like, it's produced by Shinji Mikami, but even if it is, like, a Suda-only game, there's still, like, the RE-isms in here. Admittedly done worse than RE on a good day.
Yeah, it kind of feels like they're looking at each other's work.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, obviously we got the fire ring now, which means we just gotta head back to that bathroom because, or even before that, actually, we can solve this puzzle here with the candles.
Have you turned off the air conditioning?
Oh, wait. Hold on. Actually, wait, with the light on, I think it was already off is the thing, because it was hovering over off. I think... Yeah, I think because the whole point of it is that, like, if you somehow screw up the order, you have to use the air conditioner to blow it out.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's that difficult to solve because we're playing on normal, and the numbers are just right fucking there.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I meant when I said these are even below the puzzles in, like, classic RE games.
Yeah, like I said, insultingly easy.
They straight up tell you.
Steam port, yes, very much so. It's probably the best looking version of the game, without a doubt.
Which is interesting too, considering that this game's art style, I think, lends it well enough that, like, no matter what resolution you play at, it's always gonna look great.
Yeah, absolutely. I would recommend it if it's arguably not the best version, because a lot of people will say the GameCube version is the one to go for technical reasons.
Yeah.
But it's certainly the easiest to get hold of without splashing out.
Yeah,
And
it's very faithful.
Yeah. Although I have heard people say that it is very easy to play with a keyboard and mouse. So.
Oh yeah. Because
it's depending on how difficult you want it to be, maybe consider playing with a controller.
Yeah.
Because it supports that as well.
Yeah. And it's also one of those games where, like, because this is the era from, like, pre-HD games, this is also very deep during the era in which developers type the game logic to frame rate. And admittedly, the PC port does run at 60 FPS. Like, that is, like, one advantage you can point to that makes it worth playing.
You still are.
Except that the reload animations are forever stuck at 30. It's just one of those things where, like, it runs into the exact same problem that even the PC version of RE4 has. Because with that one, they went to all the trouble of going through multiple patches to make it so that you could run it at 60 FPS and not break. But that was still just one of the lingering problems that that game has, where, like, just the reload animations look off because it's not at the same speed as everything else. Yeah.
Oh, one short.
Yep. Oh well. But I mean,
Annoying.
more power, more waver. That's still good.
Yeah. I mean, Con fires ridiculously fast right from the off, so it's not like you need more speed for him.
True. And that's even with the fact that he's got his own super speed ability.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of which, let's actually use that with some intent.
Dangerous.
Just the best voice lines. Some of the absolute best.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This close to cosplaying him at a Comic-Con time. until it was pointed out to me that I wouldn't be able to see shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
And also I'm too tall.
True. I mean, I'm fairly short. Well, short only if you're like some 6 foot plus giant who thinks that's the standard.
$5, definitely get it for that price.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because
That
it's
is a bargain.
yeah, because going for GameCube version even for a collector's sake, it does set you back a little bit more, just because it is, you know, one of the Capcom 5. It was prior to this PC version. That was the only good version, because we don't talk about the PS2.
The PS2 is the only one I've really played significantly.
Yeah, unfortunately. So.
I mean, I had a promo copy of the PS2 version. That's how I got it.
Yeah.
Like a month. I got a hold of it a month before the official UK release. So I was like, "This is brilliant!" And everyone else, when they saw me playing, was like, "This looks like the worst game I've ever seen." And I was like, "Yeah, well, fuck you."
Yep, it was like the ultimate acquired taste of its time.
Oh yeah. This is a game that's pretty much the epitome of vindicated by history.
Oh yeah, because it's like, you look at the other games Suda put out after the fact, like, No More Heroes was the one that really made his reputation blow up, you know, like, they become really noticed. Because this was more like, it definitely felt less like, oh man, Suda's brilliant. It was more like, oh man, this is one of the Capcom 5. Of which only 4 of those games released, and only 3 of those were not GameCube exclusives, but don't tell anyone.
Piano 3, what's that?
Yeah. Ugh. That's,
I keep expecting them to re-release it on the Switch. And I know it's never going to happen, because it sold like 18 copies back in the day.
Yeah.
But there has to be someone out there who really wants to play it again.
Yeah, it's like, man. It's funny, if I didn't decide to do this as like a sort of Suda casual LP type stream with you, just because I feel like this is very much like one of those subjects that we are super into. Oh, like, yeah. If I didn't have this idea, I probably would save this for like a LP, not an LP, like a stream series where it would be like, let's play through the Capcom 5 games that got released.
Except for Resident Evil 4, because I'm sick of it by now.
Oh yeah, that's true. I did play RE4 before this, so yeah, I guess that whole idea has already gone out the door. Like the only
comes the Capcom 3-ish.
Yeah, because like the only things left at this point are Piano 3 and Beautiful Joe, and even then, I'm saving Beautiful Joe for when I decide to do a stream series of playing every Hideki Kamiya game and in lead up to Project GG. Which I think the bigger logistic problem I realize I'm gonna have to figure out with that is like most of his games I could get through in a few nights. The only exception to this is Okami.
Oh god. Okami, where the prologue takes about 35 hours.
Okami, the game that is actually 3 games in 1. It's basically its own self-fulfilled trilogy, getting around the fact that all of Kamiya's other games sequel bait.
It's a beautiful game, but like it does not end. It overstays its welcome and then some.
I don't know. I like the fact that it overstays its welcome. I think like it is a very fun journey, but that is a game where like if I stream that is not going to be during the normal like nightly streams that I've done for most of the games on this channel. That is going to be something where like I'm going to need to schedule a vacation from work and then just blitz through that for 2 weeks.
Fuck you.
Yeah, like I got super burned out on that.
Oh wait,
Oh
wait, I didn't realize that there were like 4 on this side of the hallway. Or, oh wait, no, I guess it was... Oh, no, damn it.
Usually only 3.
Yeah.
Only 3 last time, and unless somehow you missed it.
Oh wait, no, I think I remember now. I think this was just like another permutation of the, of the layouts, because it is like, yeah, because there's only supposed to be 4 mags in this room. It's just that when I first got in here, one of them was directly in front of me on the path leading to the bathroom.
Ah, okay.
Oh yeah, it's like I'm not even.
Starting areas 5 hours. The tutorials start about 20 hours.
And even then, I'm not even that bothered really by like the tutorial of all things. It's just the fact that that opening cutscene text crawl goes for so long. That's what actually gets me, because it's like
all the dialogues that sort of kind of dialogue.
Well, the thing is that I'm a Banjo-Kazooie fan, so that doesn't bother me.
I'm not a fan of the N64 collectathons, again, because they're all the same game and there's just too many of them. And the sound effects in particular they just manage to hit a certain frequency that makes me want to destroy my ears.
I still stand by Banjo-Kazooie, and Tooie is alright just because it still has like the game feel of Kazooie, which is fine. DK64 is the outlier for the reason, because it very explicitly killed collectathons, like platformers.
Yes, you were saying the Okami's its own trilogy.
Yeah.
And DK64 is its entire sequence in one. It is 5 games.
Well, yeah, you got 5 characters.
Yeah, it's 5 games plus like a 20-hour epilogue.
Oh yeah, it's just it was like 99. Like I still say like a lot of Rare's games from the N64 still have merit. It's just that double combo in 99 between DK64 and Jet Force Gemini was like the lowest they got.
Yeah,
because Jet Force Gemini, you can't beat that without 100%ing it. That's fucked up. Even DK64 lets you beat it with only 50% complete, and that's like the biggest exercise in tedium imaginable.
Okay, catch you later, man.
Yeah, you take care, Raph. We're still gonna be going for at least like a couple more hours.
Yeah.
Because we definitely took half an hour trying to get all this shit set up properly.
It's certainly one of the ugliest professionally made games. It's not like shovelware.
Yeah, weirdly ambitious in a way that's kind of more respectable than what DK64 does. But yeah, it's just real clumsy.
I feel like it's a game that should have been held on to the GameCube era, and then they could have been like, oh right, we've got 2 analog sticks now.
That really would have helped it. Absolutely. But
same with Donkey Kong 64, because the camera in that's atrocious as well.
Well, I think the thing that DK64 needed was like character control that was anywhere as good as Banjo. Because it's like when you need to do crouch jumps to get anywhere, or even just to hit like the tag barrel to switch your characters, you know your platforming is fucked.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that the only reason that game uses the expansion pack is because the game had a bug that like just felt more like a memory leak, if anything, where it would just randomly crash after a while because it was eating up so much memory from like the default jumper pack. So they had to just give it the extra 4 megs. And this is why Conker's Bad Fur Day is the actual best N64 platformer, because A, it's not a collectathon, and B, does not have the absolutely hilarious technical problems that resulted in DK64 needing the expansion pack.
That's right, because they found it was quicker and actually cheaper to make the expansion pack than to delay the game and go bug hunting through billions of lines of incomprehensible code.
Yeah, and as it turns out, you just feed it more megabytes of memory, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Just amazing how they thought it was more cost effective to create an entire peripheral for the N64.
Yeah.
Like, how bad was that bug?
It's like, yeah, it's just. And it's like, it's the sort of thing where, like, it's a memory leak, which I imagine trying to find that would be very difficult just because it's, like, trying to isolate what sort of things that are being loaded into the game is causing the memory to, like, not unload the other things and then just, like, hemorrhage itself.
It was the big Christmas game of that year, though, so I can imagine why they thought, all right, fuck it.
Yeah,
We'll cut our losses.
At least the existence of that thing was redeemed when it got used for Majora's Mask and Perfect Dark, which are actually good games.
Well, I mean, Majora with Perfect Dark, it was essentially designed around the memory pack.
Oh yeah, like without it, you're basically limited to what is essentially just like a basic multiplayer demo. You couldn't even access the campaign without it.
It's like the shareware version.
Yeah, which is kind of neat in a way. I guess that's a better way of trying to tell someone, hey, you need this, rather than going, you can't play any amount of this.
Yeah, I remember the back of the box had a little checklist of what you could and couldn't do with it.
But yeah, it's like rarest games from N64. It's like Banjo-Kazooie, like, and N2E are still solid. Kazooie obviously better. GoldenEye and Perfect Dark are still amazingly designed games that feel the most held back by the N64's hardware. Because if the XBLA version of PD is of any indication, as well as that leaked XBLA build of GoldenEye, like, they really do shine a lot more when you're not running at 10 frames per second. And then there's also Blast Corps, which is dope, and Diddy Kong Racing, which is the best kart racer on the N64. And Conker's Bad Fur Day. So yeah, they had more hits than good. Fuck the haters.
See, I always wind up thinking that Body Harvest was a rare game, but it was pre-Rockstar.
Yeah, that's weird. It kind of does have a bit of that.
It feels like it should be.
Yeah, like it should be, considering it would honestly have been like a better attempt at what they possibly were trying to do with like Jet Force Gemini. Like, yeah, Body Harvest. Yeah, that's basically like the union of ideas from Blast Corps and Jet Force Gemini.
Yeah,
because it's a shooter game. Like you move around and you're also blowing a lot of stuff up. It's cool in that way.
Yeah, it feels like it should be the missing link.
Yeah, I definitely need to get a copy of that game at some point. It's on my list of physical N64 games where it's like, once I get all these games, I will consider my collection complete and I can move on with my life.
Yeah, I remember thinking that once too.
I mean, it's easier to, like, be a collector of retro games when you actually decide to limit your collection to games you know you give a shit about playing.
Well, the only ones that I really collect these days are the Shin Megami Tensei series.
Yeah.
And I've got, aside from the PSP games, I've got at least one version of every game they've released in the West. Sorry, except for the PSP ports and Jack Brothers, because that goes for about 150
Yeah.
to 300 complete in box. Like, not even mint.
Poor girl. Her and her boob plus midriff windows. I do not know who designs a shirt like that.
It was the 90s.
Like, boob window, I get. Midriff, I also get. You don't combine both of those.
It's like a boob tube with sleeves.
Yeah.
Which, and somehow I know that the movie Charles wasn't. I just know it for a fact.
Ah, damn it. Okay.
It's the fact that the creepy little bastards get like 3 times faster.
Oh yeah. It's like if we're talking about how like Suda and Shinji Mikami were basically taking cues from each other, I bet Suda took a look at the regenerators from RE4, and when they do that lunging trick, when you take out their legs, and it's like, I mean, like, he was probably like, maybe that's too much, but yeah, let's just make it so that they start skittering along the ground like a bunch of cockroaches.
Yeah, when they do their like death slinky move. Because those things have no bones when they jump like that.
Oh yeah. God, regenerators are so creepy. They're definitely the thing that, like, is the sort of thing that proves to people that somehow go, oh, RE4 isn't scary. There's nothing scary in that game. Bullshit.
Yeah, play those stages with headphones on.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll see. I mean, like, not just the regenerators, but you've also got the furnace guy in the same area.
Oh, Oven Man. Yes. That's like a good gag. One that they reused that I guess was technically done before in RE0. So I'm at least glad they took that bit and put it into a good game.
I think that's the one mainline RE game I've never actually played.
I've played. Emphasis on played and not complete.
Never finished Code Veronica either, but not for lack of trying.
Same, yes. Those are basically like the two classic RE games I have not completed, just because they're both bad for different reasons. Though I think at the end of the day, it really is like ultimately in Code Veronica's favor. Just as far as like if you have to decide which of those two to complete, I'd rather pick that one.
Code Veronica's the better game, but that still doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, it's like it's bloated. Like for the kind of game that classic RE games are supposed to be, especially if you're going for the speed for like the speedrun routes, as it were, it's way too long for that.
Yeah, it's like again, it's another game that feels like it overstays its welcome.
Yeah,
I like the idea of like towards the end when you start flipping back and forward between Chris and Claire.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was
yeah.
good, but I feel like you could have cut out maybe a good quarter of the game and it wouldn't have mattered much. Like when you're playing as Chris and you've got the little Sparky guy in the pool.
Oh yeah.
And you can just literally run in, get the item that's in there, and run out.
Mm-hmm.
And how many people just sat there, doing this half-assed boss fight?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like, I know everyone wants to see the Resident Evil 4 remake, but a Code Veronica remake could be pretty good.
Yeah, it deserves it more because it's like that's the thing where like it needs to have those edges ironed out.
Yeah, like Resident Evil 4 is a good game. It's always gonna be a good game. It doesn't need to be made better.
Some might even call a perfect game.
I'd say it's a definite 9 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, if Wrath was still here, he would absolutely be pushing for it. It is the best game. Which is up there, but it's like, yeah. I mean, it's in my top 100 for Christ's sake. That's all that matters.
Well, I mean, every time I get a new console, they re-release it and I buy it again. So,
I don't know. I still stick with my GameCube version because fuck having to play separate ways to get like some unlockables.
Also, a reference to the Smiths.
Okay, here we go.
See, it's a shame it's just sort of like a generic-esque sound effect when it really should be like the sound of dogs slurping up water.
Well, now I'm gonna... No. Yeah. I'm gonna... Yeah. Yeah.
Someone mod that into the PC version. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, God. Someone, like, modified the cutscenes so just Kunlun goes, there's always time for fun. It's Friday night. It's not Friday. Yes. It's Thursday.
It's Friday night. Yes. Friday again.
That edit of the cutscene from like from the out of context Kill the Past Twitter account is still my favorite thing ever because of the way it's cut. It's not Friday, it's Thursday. And it plays like a bit of Kunlan's animation in reverse, so it looks like he goes from smiling to frowning. Because he's like, oh. God damn it. Okay.
You told me it was Friday, and it's Thursday. Nice.
And then the next day, it's like, Mufasa, we finally here, right? It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? I'm an idiot. I got too distracted by thinking of Mufasa, it's Friday. God damn it.
God damn it.
Don't worry, we got a ton of thin blood. It's fine.
Yeah, my first time through some of the final stages where, like, if you're not wearing the stamina ring, no matter who you're playing, like, unless you're playing Mask, every explosion takes off like 3/4 of your health.
Oh yeah, like that ring is vital if you're trying to get through Killer 8.
Yeah, I was just guzzling down thin blood like a bulimic Dracula.
Yeah. Man, even though, like, each chapter limits you on how much serum you can get, at least it doesn't, like, limit how much thin blood you can get from enemies. Because, like, that helps a lot. Like, if you can just, like, if you know there's gonna be some big problem situations up ahead, it's like, well, at least I can just farm these guys. Just use Khan's special lock-on ability to get all of the the weak points, and I'm set.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the only one who I never really vibed with was Kevin.
I think that's the case for a lot of people.
But then again, you only really need to use him like 3 times in the game.
Yeah, it's like just for like puzzles that require invisibility.
Yeah. Plus, he's like the only one who never really gets any opportunity to shine.
Yeah.
Like, even Khan gets a couple of lines in the anthem.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard for him to shine in the context of like cutscenes when he is very clearly mute.
Yeah.
That's kind of his thing. He's an albino mute who becomes invisible when he takes his shades off. Which I guess is more dignified than Mystery Men's idea of invisibility, where if no one's looking at you, then the guy doesn't turn invisible. Which is real silly. That's
a viable power.
Yeah, it plays a part into that movie's climax.
Yeah. So, kudos to that.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Mystery Men, a game which I believe has a cover of the Strangler song No More Heroes. Or is it the original? I don't recall. I seem to recall from like what's in my memory of that movie because I've only seen it once. Is like I want to say the song No More Heroes plays in that, but it's not the original Stranglers version.
Maxed out the blood machine.
Yep. You just like, fuck it, I can't bother with this right now.
Later.
Yep. That said, we don't have any more for Khan, but we might as well. Let's see.
I've changed my makeup.
I'm gonna put some into Kaide's waiver because
They never notice.
because I know at least I think with one particular enemy near the end, I want to say I recall using her using her zoom in. It's for the special smile in this level.
Yeah. There's that one or 2 bosses, I should say, and is it the next chapter?
Yeah, it's next. Well, it's the second half of next chapter.
Yeah.
Where like her gun and her ability to zoom in is very useful.
Mm.
Yeah, which hopefully, if we're keeping up a good pace, maybe we'll be able to get through all that this stream. You know?
Yeah.
Because there are 3 chapters in this game already where it's like they're split up into like 2 parts anyway. And I think like it comes out to around 9, maybe 8, so that we could probably get through like 2 or 3 segments of stream.
Yeah, I was talking about it earlier, and I was checking out how long to beat.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently this is about 14 to 18 hours. I was like, seriously?
Yeah, it definitely has always felt shorter for me to do that. Maybe if you're playing Killer 8 and you're trying to be as cautious as possible because everything can fucking kill you in that.
Yeah. Here it is. Main story, 13 hours. Main and extras, 15 and a half. And I was like, I swear, like, you can do it in like a standard playthrough is about 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Also, best tank top in the game? I think so.
Sexual. I don't know, I'm still partial to Funky.
Is that the what one is it he's wearing when he's doing the hip thrust?
Oh god, I forget exactly what it is, but I'll have to remember next time.
You remember the exact animation I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I remember that, and I remember him like on the exercise machine. Ow. Couldn't kill it.
Spinning the cloud extinguisher.
Yeah. Why did it not turn me around? I pressed B, damn it. Oh well. It's not like I'm lacking in thin blood.
Yeah.
And I can't turn it into more serum at this point. And it's gonna reset anyway once I go to the next chapter because that's how this works.
Yeah. I think the first chapter I was able to max it out was Cloudman. And that's only because of the ridiculous amount of those t-shirt smiles.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you don't max it out there, you've clearly been playing it too much.
Definitely.
You know exactly where to go every time.
Yeah, this winding hallway, and like with all like the heaven smiles around each corner, is definitely another RE kind of classic RE-ism that is trying to get out of the way, in which, you know, you're going around blind corners to get ambushed by enemies that are just there. Still, for God's sake, I am still thinking in my head, how cool would this be if like this game was somehow designed around the light gun? And if it was just taking like the gameplay concept of how it was presented in Dead Aim, but in a good game.
See, what I'd love to see would be like some, like, given, you know, Suda 51, I could easily see him suggesting this. A special edition of a light gun style version of this, with scale versions of each character's weapons.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Like grenade launchers, Magnum with or Desert Eagle with the scope, anti-tank rifle.
Yeah, for Harmon. Yeah. But I guess like the closest we could get at this point is if they make a Switch port and Suda decides, I want a control scheme where you can play it with one Joy-Con. And like just use gyro to point at the screen and shoot. Anyway, here's the best part of any playthrough.
Yes.
Just the way he goes down the stairs is like the most dancey his animation gets. It's even almost to the rhythm of the song. Okay, but that was fun.
I love how this entire section lasts maybe 22 seconds, yet the entire song length is like 83 days.
Yeah, and you just want to stay in there for like a full minute. But no, we gotta keep going. We gotta get this special Heaven Smile out of the way. Which hopefully, if I recall, like, this will be good enough. Because he starts very far away, and I ideally want to, like, get him before he can even close the distance. Worst comes to worst, I'll just rely on Khan, because, like, his waiver and critical is already, like, so high anyway, that, like, it'll probably make it easier to hit the weak spot.
Yeah.
Also, really gotta love this area and how it just deliberately plays with the fact that you're on a rail all the time, and that the most obvious point in this center is something you never go to except for the last fucking time. It's like, oh, this looks like it's of interest. Nope.
Yeah, isn't there one where it looks like you're headed directly for it and then just body swerve at the last minute?
Yeah, like last minute, like run half a circle around it and then just like go through a bunch of other lines before you end up like passing through columns before you finally get to the door you're supposed to go through.
It's just like, Suda, you and magnificent cock tease.
This is why this game would fall apart if they had conceded to like a more normal control scheme and let you explore anywhere. Because, funny enough, as this is in the era from when Suda was the director, he actually has a reason behind his weird control schemes and like mechanics, because they do have a metaphorical presence with like the story he's trying to present. The fact that you're on a rail and don't have any sort of like means to really explore deeper. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, I remember this guy.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Just needed that stun. Got him. Okay, back to Khan. He's the best boy.
Good boy, best friend.
Oh, wait. Stop. I've never seen that before.
What the fuck?
It doesn't let you use your special powers on the Y button to, like, to activate the speed boost.
I have never seen that before.
I have not either. Holy shit. Wow, you just discovered new things about your favorite games every day.
Huh.
Okay.
Dance break.
God, that'd be like the best game of like stop and go, where it's just like you're supposed to get to the goal, but instead of just stopping in place when it goes red light, it just goes rave on, and then you have to dance.
just all of a sudden a pair of glow sticks appear from nowhere, just like, well, you know,
Absolutely. Oh, definitely glad I got that on the first try. That special smile fight. Because I do think I recall during my last playthrough, which was definitely like 2 to 3 years ago, I absolutely died a couple times before I had gotten lucky with the with like how to hit him, because it's like it obviously would be super trivial at this point if you had Khan's special lock-on ability, which you don't. Yeah, I only have because it's like I only have the counter and down attack. And so it's at this point where it's like nailing the weak point from far away with Kaide is your best bet, but even then, that's only if you manage to land some well-timed hits to make it stop jittering around the whole place.
Yeah, those Guardian smiles usually wind up being our boss.
Yeah, and surprisingly, that is one of the few that does not become a regular enemy. You know? Because there are a few, like, Guardian special smiles when you fight them. They do show up as regular dudes later on. But I guess that's because they realize, you know, maybe an enemy that just, like, spazzes all over the place as it, like, runs towards you makes it maybe too annoying to deal with.
Yeah, that kind of rapid twitchiness, it works good for, you know, like, unsettling the player.
Yeah.
But actually fighting them, it's like, no, this isn't fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got a character who's got a firing speed of 1 round every 12 seconds.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, Kaide's firing speed is so slow, kind of no matter how many times you upgrade it.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, she's meant to be, like, you know, she's the long-range fighter.
I mean, even without any, with maybe like 1 upgrade, Master Grenade launchers fire faster than she does. And he has to reload after every shot.
Oh, yeah. But that's also because, like, he gets very special story-critical upgrades anyway, because he's the main event.
Oh, yeah. He just rapid fires those bitches after a while.
Yeah. You can rapid fire them so hard that in one situation of this game, you can just tank the game speed.
Please,
hey, Samantha.
Be careful,
Glad
sir.
to see you're just being, this instead of what you usually are.
Gonna say, trigger warning.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there.
Oh, I remember the controversy over
I'm the
that.
mother
scene.
of this
Oh,
sacred
man.
place.
I'm
Like,
pretty...
Our 4 children
At one
served
point,
their
there were
purpose.
serious questions about whether it was going to
They
get the
didn't
game was going
die
to get
in
released
vain.
in Europe.
Yeah.
But our other
Like,
9
it
children
got
were
in
killed by
newspapers.
you.
I know, I mean, just look at this face.
What
Like,
do you want
that
from
just...
us?
Like, how can
Is it
you,
so bad
like,
that we have a
accept that on a
purpose in
moral
life?
level?
We are only.
Oh wait, no,
Yeah,
you're talking. Oh wait, no, you're talking about the
At
college
heaven's
girl
command,
straddling an
we
old
will
man.
kill
Oh yeah,
the
I can see
unwanted.
that.
Yeah,
We
yes,
must get rid of
the,
bad trees from their roots.
the
I
19-year-old
you
raping an old
are
man.
not
Yes,
one of them.
that scene.
With clothes
Good
on.
Night, child. It's
She
past
had
your
a
bedtime.
skirt.
I don't even think it was a skirt. I think it was just hot pants or something. It was just a real shortly cut like jeans, jean
Fairly
shorts.
certain it was a mini skirt, but
I forget.
wrong.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah, waifus were much harder to find back then.
Yeah. It's just like those faces. You know the ones. The kind where it's like you just like try and like don like a full body costume that has the head look like an anime face, but it's just beyond disconcerting.
The anime kigurumis.
Yeah. Just being reminded of like one picture where it's like just the whole subway train of people like in those masks, and the caption is you showed up in the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's what happens when you go to the special now.
Yeah, it's a very special circle. Surprisingly, none of the 9 circles.
You have been judged by a jury of your peers and found wanting.
Yes.
Pencil banishes you to anime hell.
I banish you to Drakengard.
See, at least that would be interesting.
And it's just the old sock puppet of Yoko Taro.
I love the old sock puppet.
I do too. The Emil mask is great, but it like sock puppet has its own charm. Although I think he now needs to like fully commit to the upgrade when doing like Zoom meetings or like for interviews where he just uses a V-Roid Kermit the Frog model. Did you see that shit? But with like a recent like interview or whatever with about Nier Replicant, where it was like just because it was being done through Zoom and not in person, he decided to like, yeah, you know what? Rather than just having a camera with me wearing this Emil mask, because I'm pretty sure that's tiring to do even in my own home, I'm just gonna come off as Kermit the Frog.
God bless you, Mr. Taro.
Yeah, I absolutely respect and admire like his distaste for doing interviews the normal way.
I was actually looking, you can get the Nier Automata merch and stuff on Wish, because sometimes you can get some fun things, you know.
Oh yeah.
And they had replicas of the mask for like $5. And I was like, oh, the quality of these is going to be atrocious.
Oh yeah.
I need to get one.
Okay. But that was that boss fight. It's very simple, obviously.
We have killed the spirits of anime. Life is good now.
Not yet. There's still some more out there.
Oh yeah.
Ready to send us to new circles of hell. Which, as it turns out, Dante had it all wrong. It's not based on what he thinks it is. It just turns out every circle of hell is a different fetish.
Well, when you think about it, the circle of gluttony is just basically vor.
Yeah. Vor slash, fattening slash inflation fetish, I guess. Who knows? That's right, you shoot the man behind her.
Stranger danger.
Yeah, you would be, like, signaling the biggest stranger danger alert if you're in the presence of this motherfucker.
Either of them.
Yeah. This weird,
Nothing has
almost
changed for 30 years.
Almost Kazuya Mishima lookalike, I guess. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just because of the sideburn and like his general face shape. If his hair was a bit more like a singular spike in the back, it would be on point.
Kind of looks like one of the characters from Nocturne as well. He's got the more extreme widow's peak.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
A new
I always love this scene.
Children will bring order to this age. You're a good friend.
Just the line where he says someday you'll be able to fit the world into a PDA, and it's like, so close.
So close.
We both have become
Should have just replaced it with phone, and it would be accurate.
time for fun anymore.
Man, all the more reason why it's like, oh, here it is.
There's always
time for fun.
It's
Friday night.
No, it's not. It's Thursday.
Let's dance.
No, it's Wednesday morning. Wednesday night for you, actually, because of the time zone difference. although in 6 minutes it's gonna be Wednesday afternoon for me because we're approaching 12. Oh, sweet! This is the best way you can get to get into the Seattle Space Needle. Express delivery via grabbing a bullet.
You're awake from
Your anti-tank rifle.
Harmon.
Kojima, are you
The
paying
size of the
attention?
world has
This is
changed.
how the floating delivery system
It's
works.
changed to the size where you can control it with your hands, just like a PDA.
God, how funny would it be if it turned out that that was actually where he got the idea?
It's like, yeah, just like the Fulton delivery launcher. Where it's just like, I got it. We'll launch balloons.
Just sitting there like, well, maybe this Suda guy's onto something.
Mm-hmm. That was Angel. Yeah. There we go.
It goes from here.
Oh yeah. And if
It
we're
goes places.
if we decide to go with like with the silver case analogy, would basically be like the prologue chapter of the silver case, where it is all about just establishing that tone before kicking into the real plot in Sunset.
Although that said, the plot is like the only thing that the intro really tells you to expect is not to expect anything, because everything from here on is just so vastly different from what's come before.
Yeah.
And what comes after it, for that matter.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, we finished Target 00 Angel, and obviously as you can tell when you go back over an old case, like it's no longer a silhouette. It shows what your actual target is, which you can technically go back to if you want, but I mean, you're not going to be able to, you won't be able to like get any more serum that way, really. It's just if you want to experience the story again while also having all your key items, so the puzzles can be done a lot faster and in a different order. But no.
Yeah, it's really just showing off for your friend mode.
Mm-hmm. Heads or tails?
Tails.
Right it is.
I thought you were going to shoot the tie.
I mean, where is the tie?
I don't know.
Red Moon.
The Prennies are getting excited.
Dude. That's all I really know about Prinnies. They're penguins
Finally.
and dude.
Finally, some plot occurs.
Yep.
July 3rd, 1998. The day that all
This Paul
international disputes
Eiding
were
sounding
resolved.
dude.
This day
Really
marked the
certain it is.
beginning of true peace for the entire world, for people
Like,
of
I
all
always think it
races.
is at first, but then it's like there's something about like the
four
inflection
powers
and
quickly
graveliness of
formed
it that really does
anti-terrorist
not sound
organizations
right.
and set out creating peacekeeping agencies
I don't
to
know.
bring order and security on a
I
global
forget
scale.
still, even if they
Actually,
do mention
the
this,
world
like in the
unified to
credits,
do
like who the
everything
narrator
in its
is in this
power
cutscene.
to eradicate
it's,
all the weeds of
he was
evil
in,
and disorder. The International
he
Society,
did the
under the motto of
intros
protecting the
for
world
Outlaw
from
Storm.
international terrorism,
Oh,
ideology
yeah.
terrorism,
Yeah,
and
the
cyber-terrorism.
pre-credits intros.
stopped all air
Oh,
transportation,
God, I love
and
Outlaw
closed
Star.
every network
Pretty
station
much everyone involved
in a
in
short
this
span of 2 years
was
to reduce
a
the likelihood of
long-time
terrorism.
voice actor in one way or another.
The world had
Like
changed.
the guy that plays Harmon.
In the year
was,
2002,
the guy that
a
plays,
network of intercontinental expressways
he was in
bridging the
he
Atlantic
was just like
Ocean
Machen
opened,
in
connecting the
Final
two
Fantasy
major sides of the world.
Yeah, Dwight Schultz.
X.
In
And
the
he was
following year
Mike
of
Schultz, that's it. He
2003,
was also in the A-Team.
the construction of a mass-scale
He
distribution
was also
system began,
Death's Head in
and the
Wolfenstein:
man-made
The New Order,
landmass as large as a
That's
city
right, yeah.
was built
as well
over
as
an ocean.
as
and
well
research
as
of nuclear energy
Hoxie
was
from
banned,
Chronicles
and
of
all
Riddick Escape from
radioactive
Butcher Bay.
waste
He was
and
the prison
materials were
warden.
disposed of at an energy disposal facility in the
Yeah,
Gibsoft
he's a good
Islands,
voice actor. Oh yeah, he's also
a remote
Noah
set
in
of
Mad
islands
World.
off the
The
coast
guy
of
that's
the
like
Indian
organizing the
Ocean.
whole Deathwatch games.
Now, international
Yeah,
eyes
that's
were
right.
on the elimination
Yeah,
of
he's
the intercontinental
He's got a good
missiles
voice. He does good
that
work.
posed the biggest threat to world
But yeah,
peace.
because it's like, yeah, because
In order to
you
eliminate
got
these
him
weapons
like
of mass destruction,
on here.
They were launched outside the Earth's atmosphere.
You've got Greg
and
Eagles.
intercepted by other
You got
missiles,
Jennifer
exploding
Hale.
them on contact.
Yep.
People around
Only
the
really
world
appears in
watched
one
these
scene,
explosions
to be
light
fair.
up the sky
Yeah.
as if they were some kind of dazzling
You got
light
Tara
show.
Strong as
These
Kaide.
explosions, later
Yeah,
known
not
as
doing
the
a Tara
missile
Strong
shows,
voice, surprisingly.
became
Yeah,
the symbol
not really.
of world
Well,
peace.
yeah, not like in
The
the sort of
world was
recognizable like
filled
cartoon
with hope.
kind of voice,
But
where
a
you know.
new threat was
Another-
on the
another-
rise.
She's got a very distinct voice, and
At
she
the
doesn't
signing
in
ceremony
that.
of the UN's
Yeah.
World Security Treaty in the year 2003, a new breed of terrorists who called themselves Smiling
Man, I bet
Faces
these old
attacked
like
the
anime
ceremony.
cutscenes are looking especially
The
great with this
devastating
scanline
attack caught the
filter when viewed
international society
properly.
by surprise and
It's like,
temporarily crippled key
man,
operations in the United
It's funny because
Nations.
between this and you mentioning Outlaw Star,
That
it's
assault
like
was aimed at nothing
if copyright
other than
law
using
wasn't the way it
terrorism
was,
to create terror.
and I could just go fuck it,
Fear spread throughout the nation
I
like
would
wildfire.
be down for just like
There was
like
nothing
if
the police or
if
the
like
military
watch
could do
stream
to counter the
parties
smiling
could
faces.
actually show the thing
The
you're
only
watching on the
ones
stream
who had
itself. I
any
would totally be
chance
down
of
for just
stopping
doing like
these
an
smiling
old
faces
like old
were the
anime
omniscient
watch
and
parties
almost
with this
godlike
filter for like
professional
90s anime.
assassins.
That'd be
Dude, I'm
so
fair-
The key
fucking
players
sick.
behind the scenes
I'm
of the
fairly
four
certain I own
powers
most of that
utilized their
stuff on
connections
Blu-ray
and
anyway.
called upon the group
Yeah.
known as
Because I've got, I picked up Outlaw
Killer
Star last year
7.
because they re-released that on Blu-ray, and there's
Their
really
only
nice
hope
box set.
Yeah.
rested with them.
I've got stuff like Dragon Ball Z Kai
Mhm.
on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Picked up the original Tenchi Muyo a while back.
Yeah, you did tell me about that. That was cool.
Still waiting for them to release G Gundam officially over here.
Mm.
But we just got the first half of Turn 8 Gundam, I think November or December, so
Yeah.
don't see that happening anytime soon. Just seems like they've completely bypassed it. I wonder why.
Yeah, don't mind the screaming. Oh, hello.
Man, this would be the worst game to have quick time events in for these sections.
Because you'd actually have to engage in this abuse, or depending on what their perspective is, probably some kind of kink play.
What?
Mash
wanna
Y
eat?
to beat the old man.
Yeah.
The Wii
Make it
version
fast,
of it even
okay?
worse.
I have to
You
do a
have to
classic
swing the
9.
remote.
Oh, man. Okay. So, of course, that was not the worst she does.
Not by a long shot.
Ah, Garcian.
Look at that vitality.
Off the fucking charts.
Good thing we're not playing as him on this mode. God forbid we have to resuscitate him.
The master is awake.
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure Samantha would probably have no problem trying to do that, because she wouldn't, as we've seen, she wouldn't even, like, resort to regular CPR measures. She would just, like, keep stomping the shit out of his chest until he woke up.
Maybe that's what it is. She's not actually abusing him. She's just practicing the minigame.
Oh, yeah.
Contact you.
If there are visitors,
Just like
for
rather
me,
than hammering the
call.
button, she's hammering an old man in the face.
Mm-hmm.
As you wish.
And later the crotch.
Samantha,
Turns out she's actually a disciple of Lavakov. Who knew?
As you wish, master.
Ah, makes a lot of sense.
There we go.
Fuck you, you creepy bastard. Give me my money.
It's time. Can I go now?
Yeah. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
See you tomorrow, then. Thanks. Mwah.
You know, I do not appreciate the advances you're making towards me. More than whatever you're doing as part of your caretaking routines with the master. Just, let's just leave it at that.
Just stand there like, I feel weird. You made it weird. I need to go.
I need an adult.
I am an adult.
Yeah, barely. You're fucking 19, you broad.
Hey, it counts from a legal perspective.
Yeah. And also because if that thing is contextualized as some weird kink play, then it is totally legal because both parties are 18. They had to have consented.
Making a lot of options there.
Wait, look at this.
And now we're going to a Tom Clancy film.
What is this? A bug in the system? No, sir. It's reading right. There's 200.
Starring Steve Bloom.
Hell?
And also
Our
Steve
country
Bloom.
could disappear off the map.
Steve Bloom plays
Do you have the
17
impact
roles.
point yet? Yes, sir. It's Japan. What? Are the fireworks ready? No, forget it.
It's just
Japan is our ally.
Just, like,
no, we're not
just make an
authorized to
alternate
make that
version
kind
of, like, that
decision.
being John
Forget
Malkovich poster when it's
We
just
have to do
being
something
Steve
now
Bloom.
or else. We can't just let
Just
it
fairly
happen.
Certain he's done that.
Get the president on the line.
I would not be surprised.
I vaguely remember seeing a picture he took at a con.
This is an
once
emergency
with him
call for the
surrounded by
president.
cosplayers of like 30 different characters that he's played.
Yeah.
Mr. President, this is Spencer speaking, sir. 200 pulsars have been
I will
fired
never not
towards
be happy
Japan.
to hear Steve Bloom's
We're
voice.
unable to compute their
As much as
trajectory
it's
since
easy
we're avoiding
to
computation
tell,
time lag.
and that some people just like
Interception
kind of
can
like
only
make fun of it
commence
because of
2
that.
hours before initial impact.
But now, fuck you.
Shall we launch
That voice is my
fireworks?
childhood, goddammit.
Mr.
I watched
President,
Tsunami growing
your
up. He was the
assessment, sir.
host on that.
Just funny how people are like, he's only got one voice, and it's like, yeah, I didn't realize for several years that he also did like have the voices on Digimon because they sound so little like what he normally does.
Yeah.
That was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Also, the fact that like he seemingly has no range to his voice is part of the appeal.
Well, that's the thing, because he said that he's gone for like tons of auditions,
Mhm.
or like the very first, he's got the part and he's going in for the first day of recording,
Yeah.
and he goes in, he's got an idea of what this character's going to sound like, does a take, and he thinks, boom, nailed it. And then the director
The
comes in
missiles
and
have
is
been
like, yep,
launched.
Steve, fantastic work as always. Amazing. Could you just do it like
Japan.
20% more? Like, and he's like, you want me to do it like Spike Spiegel, don't you? And it's like, how did you know?
Restaurant
no idea.
Fukushima.
Yeah.
It's a popular joint.
You and every other
And the target.
fucking person in this
The owner of
industry.
the place.
Yeah.
Toru Fukushima. See, he's the middleman between the Japanese UN
Admittedly, though, I feel like it,
government.
just by the nature of like getting older, I feel like trying to
it's a
get
job
that
from all
pure
the
Spike
parties.
Spiegelness
Japan
is
has turned
getting harder and
against us.
harder just because of how much
Well,
farther
it's a
away in time we are
possibility.
now from when
It
Cowboy
depends on how
Bebop
they
was a
move.
thing.
It'll be
Yeah,
a blow.
well,
Because, like, there's only
going
so-
on 20
What will
years.
happen to Japan?
Yeah, there's like only so
It's up to the
few other
president.
characters I can
They have
think of
18
that I
hours.
feel actually channel
All
as
hell's
much of
gonna
Spike
break
as it
loose over
does.
Washington.
Like, I think the last thing I've
I sure as
seen
hell
that
don't wanna beat it.
gets us close to that, which makes sense
If,
because it was
for
around
some
that same
reason,
time,
you need
was
help, go
the
see a guy
bouncer.
named Kasai.
Because he
I was gonna
voices
say,
he voices
yeah,
one of the main characters in
especially
that, and
about the
that's like
Japanese movement.
that is
You
in
got
the
all the
peak
details
of
in
young
there, okay?
Steve Bloom.
This time, the string
Yeah,
puller
that is like one for
Fukushima.
one. Just
Now, the
slightly
integrity and the true
higher
worth of
pitched and
Japan is at
faster.
stake here.
But
Yeah.
that could just be the game itself, you know.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it just turns out here's Spike Spiegel if he wasn't a cowboy and decided to get a tribal tattoo treasure trail.
Yeah, this is Spike Spiegel at age 22.
Yeah, working at a bar.
He made some bad choices. Got some laser surgery though, so yeah.
Yeah. Can only imagine the cost and the pain involved. Just the fact that like he has tattoos literally all over him.
Yeah, the cost and the pain of getting them put on and then taken off.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they just look at Bolt and it's like, don't you ever get tired of like those metal horn piercings in your forehead? It's like, no.
I like the pain.
Even during winter when it's fucking freezing.
I can feel it in my brain.
Yeah. I got these as a souvenir when I went to hell.
By the way, did I mention that I went to hell and came back? Because I will like 17 more times.
As well as talk about how I know things about Mikado that you don't.
Yes, I know things about Mikado that surprise the guy who's blatantly a Mikado spy. Or ex-spy.
Yeah. I will play the bouncer on this stream at some point.
Oh.
You fuckers will not escape this.
Oh.
I will gladly suffer through like that pressure sensitivity nightmare that is that game.
That is a game that I think with a remake should be made competent.
Yeah.
Not good, just competent.
Mm-hmm. No reason not to show it off, even though it gets you no thick blood.
Yeah, it's like, well, we're not leveling up anytime soon.
But also, we still need him out here so that we can... Well, no, hold on. I gotta check around this other side of the hallway.
Wait, is this the headbutt or the suplex? I forget.
I feel like it's either or, but I think it's prudent that we make an extra save here.
Yeah, I think this is the suplex.
Suplex or headbutt, either one. We do know that he at least headbutts another thing later on, and it's pretty baller. Some might say Kino.
So, like, if you know anything about this game other than it makes no fucking sense, you know that headbutt.
No, it was a headbutt. The suplex is much later on.
Yeah, it must be the other one that he suplexes.
Here we are with Asian Steve Bloom and his two twins.
Irashamase. Welcome. How many in your party, sir?
Wait, no, I think that's Robin acting down. Fuck.
May I ask what it's concerning?
Yes, it is. It is, actually. God damn it.
I'm here to kill Mr. Fukushima.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely him.
Certainly. We'll be delighted to serve you.
Yeah, it's like... Him and Steve Bloom, they get a whole lot of play in this, as far as voicing extras. Back to Con. Wait, no, fuck, I gotta kill more, damn it. Okay, Coyote time, I guess. Because we've not really done much with him other than unlocking doors with the power of Think.
And then, well, I think it's his first stage where you need to jump with the power of mind.
That's true, yes.
Alright, all the heroes is got.
Reload. Where's the... There we go. Okay, just save that. There's another Camilla smile, so... Yeah. Because they drop a lot of thick blood if you manage to get them before they run away.
Hurts, doesn't it?
14, 2,
3. Which... Oh yeah, that got us up to 5. That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Oh wait, no, it was still going up as I was selecting Kaide. It's now 8. Okay, what's the final total? 11. Yeah, that's like about 10 almost. Wait, when did you respawn? What the fuck?
I heard there were bullets happening and I wanted to join in.
Oh god, that's right. These two do respawn. Son of a bitch. I gotta hurry through.
No, son of a bitch.
No.
Here's son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I forgot about that micro smile and I missed it. Damn it. Oh well, I still got the Camilla anyway. I think that counts enough. One. Yep. Okay.
Bitch better have my money. My money.
He's never gonna get his money. He never will. Yeah, I know. Self-harm is pretty sick.
She flattened a wall, you know, like walls are supposed to be.
No, flatten the other way. Vertically.
Vertically?
Yeah. we both had the exact same.
It took me a second there. It was like, wait.
Wait a minute.
I'm gonna need to think about this one.
Yep. Okay. Number 1.
Great, and I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head.
Only version of that I have stuck in my head is the one that's mashed up with Love Deterrence. That was actually pretty amazing. Because it's like... Yeah, because like part of the magic include is like that dumb like toy saxophone sound that's like playing to like the music in Love Deterrence.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go look for that later.
Yeah, that's a triple Q joint. The same person that made I think is actually the greatest mashup of anything. Devil Trigger from DMC5 with Love Shack from B-52s.
Oh, I've heard that.
That one has no right to be as good as it is.
One of my favorites, game crossover ones at least, is the Lava Reef Zone from Sonic 3 with Poker Face by Lady Gaga.
Oh, that's
it
pretty...
works so well.
That's strong.
It's gotten to the point where I've heard so many parodies and cover versions and mashups of Lady Gaga songs. When I actually hear one when I'm in a shop or something, I'm like, wait a minute, this is freaking me out.
Yeah.
This is playing with my brain in ways I did not consent to.
Definitely not. So yeah, we use the power of Think to jump onto the roof and get into this room. To meet the best girl.
Hi, Susie.
Hello, Mr. Smith.
I just love that little emoji.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, it's like no wonder Chip left these scenes in when he did like his LP, because obviously skipping through Iwazaru I can understand, because he's slow and creepy and no one likes Iwazaru. Travis is cool, but Susie, you kind of have to leave her cutscenes in as is, because most people, especially back then, didn't know how to fucking transcribe those emotes.
Yeah. Yay, good end.
Man, if we all wish we could like get off of going to school that easy. Oh wait, no, none of us did, because that requires breaking our fucking legs. Of course she didn't come. I made her jump with me.
Being Susie is suffering.
Yeah. We're just gonna close that slightly. It's just...
Don't close it all over, because she's not going to be able to breathe.
Oh, yeah. Wait, no, breathing shouldn't even be a concern. She was stuck in that washing machine or dryer combo, whatever it was.
She just wanted to be warm.
Fair enough.
I imagine she gets cold very easily. She's not wearing a hat.
It was in the one direction I couldn't fucking see. You son of a bitch.
I was waiting on that.
I always forget where that's supposed to be.
Seriously, I was just sitting there. It's like, it's over on the right, isn't it? Ah, there we go.
Okay, triggered both of them. So at least I'm getting good luck with hitting these critical points as Coyote. And I've not even dumped upgrade points into him. It's only been a whole lot into Khan and some into Kaide.
Yeah, I mean, even when you've got the waiver down to an acceptable level, it's way too easy to get a crit and just blow the leg clean off.
Absolutely. Yeah, and still none of the other characters unlocked yet, so I still gotta keep doing this. Sticking with these two.
Hurts, doesn't it?
9 smashes. Gotta love the different, like the different text that shows up based on like what your kill streak is.
Yeah, I think after like 7 or 8, it just defaults to smashes.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, wait. There we go.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Nice.
Right around the corner. Before it could even trigger. Now, is there anything else? Nope, just this cool camera angle. Nope, I'm gonna have to...
Just the way he's running, he looks like he's like, ah, stay. How much let you fell and cap you?
Oh well. Well, I tried on that one. It's fine. We still got more than enough thin blood. Just need to get to another Harmon in this room. Like tears in the rain.
Damn it, we've heard that one before.
Get better material, Travis. God.
Actually, funnily enough, I picked up Blade Runner on Blu-ray the other day. Had it on DVD for years, but never got around to Blu-ray.
Interesting. Yep, this is the whole crux of the plot. Tensions between the U.S. and Japan, with things looking like the whole country's just gonna get blown the fuck up.
Kill the past, also Japan.
Yep. Oh boy, this one.
Oh, I hate these guys.
Yeah, they're a bit annoying. The guy
They're not
just...
so bad when you. They're not so bad if you're quick with the counterattack.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, just being... Yeah, I'm gonna switch back to Coyote because I'm pretty sure there's more, and I'll be at a much closer distance once they proc and start walking towards me.
Yeah. Like them and the ones with the giant body parts that you have to target.
Yeah. Because they also work on the same principle. If you don't hit the right one, they just warp and blow you up.
Okay, what the hell?
I think I hit the outer shell, which wasn't the correct part, but because it was not... No!
No.
More blood. Please, for God's sake, give me more. Is there something here that, like, could take me to, like, a Harmon room or something? Anything? No? Okay, hold on. Let me check the... Wait.
Okay, so, yeah, there's one in the lounge.
Yep. I just realized because it was kind of... The tricky part with this, if you kind of, like, look at the map, like, it does not indicate to you, like, where your player position is. You just kind of have to look at, like, what room is highlighted and guess, okay, which direction am I in?
Yeah, what room you're in, where you are, what direction you're going in.
Yep, definitely. Okay, so...
What?
Let me see if I can... Wake up.
Yay!
Why don't you put a little makeup?
Shake up.
Hey, this was 2005. It would make enough sense to just start spouting that.
See, I was originally thinking Rage Against the Machine, Wake Up from Matrix.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Well, we got Khan woken up, but we can't upgrade anything else because we're just one vial short of serum. But at least we can switch back to him, to the best boy. Whew, okay.
Jack of all trades, master of at least 3.
Yep. Especially when he gets that move I'm talking about. Because it's like...
Click, dead. Click, dead.
It is the ultimate godsend when you're playing this game on Killer 8.
Yeah, it must be the
yeah.
extremity ones that teleport to you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. They still under the same principle of like you have to like hit the proper body part in order for it to be a kill that counts in your favor.
Yeah, I could have sworn the bomb heads teleported to you, but oh well.
Nah, I think the trick is that like if you hit them in the wrong spot when they're close enough to you, that explosion will absolutely damage you. That's basically the
What
thing.
I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm. Another Camilla smile. So
yeah, easily missable.
Yeah, so this might be no.
Ah,
Oh, saved it.
nice.
Okay, so it's like any 2 hits from Kaide's gun is enough to like make any fast-moving smiles just stay in place. That's right. Now I remember that's the amount you need as Kaide in order to stagger them. That's good. Thank God for stagger systems, really.
Truth be told, I didn't even know this game had one. I was usually just aiming for the weak spot, and if I never got it, then
Fuck you.
massive amounts of bullets.
Yeah,
Which is why Con's the best.
absolutely.
Did you kill it? No. Panic!
Fuck you.
Just got it. 20 plus vials and counting. So, but we still need Kaide anyway, because this is another blood puzzle. That blinding flash and post-processing effects. Suda was just having a field day with the game. He was going, man, I can do this?
Wow, I can make this game look all kinds of ugly.
Oh wait, I can't even. Oh shoot. Yeah, I don't have Dan. I don't have Dan unlocked. Yeah, we're gonna go back.
Yeah.
I think it's like I should have seen about like just waking up all the others when I had the chance, because I feel like I'm more used to the fact that like most of the time like these characters automatically are supposed to wake up based on how many Heaven Smiles you kill. But it's like but you also have the option to like manually wake them when you go into the save room. I don't know, it's weird because like it does it automatically for you in the first chapter. So I got no idea why it's not doing it here. I
kind of feel like it's, and I'm probably wrong, but I feel it's like, if you get, say, this number of kills, then you can wake them up in the armor room. But if you get this higher number of kills, then they wake up automatically.
Possibly, yeah. It's like a soft and hard limit.
Yeah.
But whatever,
I'm
I'll
probably
check.
wrong, but I feel like that's the case.
Well, we can check right here, as well as dump off our thick blood. Yeah, okay, so we can wake him up, and I guess we'll... Oh, wait, no. Yeah, we need to kill 10 more enemies, but that's fine, because it's fucking Kevin.
Mr. I'm only useful in 3 chapters.
Alright, there we go. Level 4 waiver, just because we're already good on power and criticals anyway.
Hell, half the time it feels like criticals work against you.
Wait, maybe I'm misremembering, like, what the point of criticals were. I forget.
I vaguely remember criticals as, destroying a limb automatically.
Huh. I thought it actually had more to do with, like, the chance that, like, making it easier when your crosshair is over a weak point, that it will actually hit it no matter how specific it is. Because that's the thing with, like, very early on, I noticed with, like, trying to hit the weak points on Heaven Smiles is that, like, it leads to, like, the feeling of, like, inaccuracy with the aiming, because it feels like you having the reticule dead center on it should mean that it goes down, but sometimes it ends up being like, no, you had to actually shoot it off to the side or something. Because now it's like, I feel like I'm hitting the weak points a lot easier with Con, just because I have criticals.
Yeah, according to game facts. It makes the critical shot. It makes the critical areas.
Critical areas being like the weak points.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured it was.
Okay.
So yeah, it's good to get those, especially just because you need all that thick blood.
Yeah. As I thought all it did was make it easier to blow off a limb or a head.
Mm-hmm. Good shape.
Good shape. Just swinging in the breeze.
So yeah, Japan's getting wiped out and has no defense system of its own just because, like, the whole political climate's orchestrated as such that it's like, yeah, it's totally contingent on, like, being able to survive on other countries' goodwill or whatever.
You know, like a parasite.
Mm-hmm. Yep, a parasite, like the US of A.
Political commentary.
Yeah, we're playing fucking Killer 7. It's kind of hard not to. Even if, like, this game's ideas of politics are, like, a very weird mess.
This game's idea of politics is, I don't know, lol.
I mean, to be fair, that's how I feel about it even without this game's rendition of it.
Yeah, fair point.
It's just... It's always a real frustrating just because of how... like, the discourse on certain things that are considered politics really shouldn't be when they should be, like, common sense. Like, gay rights and trans rights. But, oh well.
Hey, Capcom!
Mm-hmm.
Because it always, to me, it always sounds like a little cat bell.
Kinda does.
Cat jingle toy.
It absolutely does, yeah.
These guys are a complete pain in the ass.
Kinda. I mean, at least their weak points are always there, regardless of, like, whether or not you're... whether or not it's Killer 7 or Killer 8 mode. Because, like, that's part of their physical model. This is kind of how it is.
Yeah, I think after a while I just started using mask to blow them up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Samantha, you might want to fix your posture on that chair or something. I don't know.
That just looks uncomfortable.
It looks like you're just letting, like the right side of your ass completely hang off the chair.
She looks like she tried to do a cool pose for us coming in, fucked it up, and then went, I'm just gonna roll it up.
It's like, shit.
You saw nothing.
Even what you were doing with the master, you saw nothing! Nothing! Especially not with that old fart.
Khan's just like, and this is why I wear the headscarf.
As it turns out, I am not actually medically blind. I just use this as an excuse. Okay, so we got some of these, there we go. Because we also got some of the, those bomb head smiles around here. Nope. Getting far away just to be safe. Nope. Ugh. I did the reverse when I was still running. That's real bad. There we go. Finally, I got the actual head again and not just the, oh. Easy. There we go.
Hey.
Power lunch. Good shirt / tank top names, really.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to see here. I thought it was rocket lunch.
Yeah.
Which would have been really cool as well, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could kind of make it out with like the scan lines on my filter, but I think that's only because of the kind of change I made to like the scan lines that I've been using for this. Because prior to this, the scanlines I had been using were from an image that was specifically made for like 1080p. So I had just cropped out just enough of the image so that like downscaling or upscaling the resolution wouldn't fuck with like the density of the lines.
Mm-hmm.
But I found, I think over time, looking back through the Okay, so we don't have the object that we need for that yet. But yeah, it's like what I had found was that with the scanlines I was using is that they really do a lot for the look of the image if it's for like 2D games or games that are designed to be 240p. But this is 480p, and I found that like because of like that doubling in resolution, it kind of leads to certain situations where I guess they accounted for the way text would look in that context, and the old scanlines I was using were just chopping up some of the text items a bit too much. So instead, what I did is that I took that 1080p scanline image, copy pasted it onto a 4K image, and then scaled it down by 50% back to 1080. So the result is that you still see the scan lines if you're watching this on the stream proper and full screen, but what you lose in terms of like scan line thickness, you still get a uniform looking image combined with like it not fucking with the legibility of the text nearly as much. Again, it's something that you're not seeing just because of how Discord screen share is. I basically am you're only seeing the actual gameplay feed itself.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
But it should be looking pretty good, and I still may, on occasion, if I go back to playing like 2D games, like stuff that's at 240p, I might still switch back to like the old scan lines just to make it more pronounced, because depending on the game, I think there is an appreciation to be had with like thick scan lines, you know? Because games back in these days were made for it. I mean, hell, like, it's an interesting detail where it was like, I forget exactly what it was specifically where it was had in, but the, it was for like one of the Darkstalker games. I think it was either a strategy guide or art book. It might have been both, because that's generally how like Japanese guides end up being, where like the guides end up having a lot more supplementary material to them.
Yeah.
But the way it was that when they were showing like the, I guess like the sprites for the for the Darkstalker characters, instead of just putting like the raw sprite art on the page itself, they took screenshots of the sprites as they would be seen on a CRT filter, because like the fuzziness and color and like color saturation is how on the CRT itself is how they envisioned it looking. It's just they designed the colors of the sprites in a specific way because they knew the phosphorus and resolution of the CRTs would make it look the way they wanted in the first place.
Yeah, I remember getting one of the Darkstalker collections for the, I can't remember if it was the PS3 or the 360, and it came with the softening filter engaged automatically, and it looked horrible.
Well, yeah, it's like softening filter doesn't do much unless you have it with the other things that made CRT displays distinct in the first place.
Yeah,
because it's like the same problem I have when people are like, just put scan lines on top of the raw image, when like it doesn't work like that. You're taking an image which is emitting like a set amount of light, and then essentially darkening it by 50% by putting a bunch of alternating black lines over it.
Yeah, I personally just prefer, sharp pixels myself, but
I can understand that, but
everyone's got their preference.
Yeah, but I think like the sharp filter, the sharp pixels make the most sense when it comes to games that are clearly designed around LCDs, displays, and like their color range by nature. And it's still the sort of thing where, like, I mentioned it, I think, offhand to you before as far as like games that I kind of want to stream as like ideas. And like with this filter, I want to see how close I could get something like Silent Hill 2, like the PS2 original, to look with this filter, because like for me, playing it on a CRT when I was living in Washington was like, that was the first way I'd fully experienced Silent Hill 2, and I think that was the best because of how just the way like the color balance and phosphors of like the CRT work. It's like you can go through large portions of the game with oh damn it. I missed my
dead.
Yeah, I missed my chance for the counter attack because I saw the flash and I just missed the timing. Then I was talking about all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like large portions of Silent Hill 2. You can get through a lot of those dark areas without needing the flashlights. Because if you're playing like on a CRT that's calibrated in like the right way, you can pretty much like see like the areas that in any other display would be pitch black because it's just crushing like those very dark colors. It's kind of like how you know how there's like that color bar test pattern you see that's like,
yeah,
and how like there are parts of it that are designed so that like there's like a series of like very small 3 like vertical black columns that like depending on how your monitor would be calibrated, those would either look like the same color of black or you would actually see the minor differences.
Look,
basically seeing the minor differences was how is basically what it looked like when I played Silent Hill 2 on a CRT.
I think, vaguely relatedly, when I got my first widescreen TV, this was actually the first game that I played on it.
Wow. Did you actually have the sense to make sure it was in the proper aspect ratio?
Not at the no, but I just remember because my TV or my PS2 was right underneath my TV, so I was just filling it out with some memory cards, pressed start, and because I was used to this really crappy huge TV at the time, and it was like a 32-inch widescreen, so massive difference.
Oh yeah.
And the loading screen with the moon, I just remember it being super overwhelming. Just like, whoa, this is too much TV for me.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, oh my god.
Too much oval moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't remember it being too bad, but then again, back then I wasn't like, as long as I could see the picture, it didn't look atrocious, and you know, the sound wasn't out of sync, I was a lot more forgiving.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I went through most of my life like playing my old consoles on composite. Like I didn't even like think about S-Video or Component until like I was living on my own for a while. Like S-Video is like, people like in retro gaming circles, like they are not lying when they say that arguably the biggest jump in video quality you can get from like analog signals is going from composite to S-Video. Just because even though it's like a tier below Component or slash RGB, like just the way that it goes about separating the colors across 2 cables instead of 1 is like astronomically huge.
I think pretty much all of my consoles up until I want to say PS3, all of mine were just SCAR.
Yeah, that's true, because you were in PAL. You actually
we already had the better quality TV to begin with.
Yeah, you had RGB. Like consumer CRTs got jack shit for that.
Yeah.
Like that's part of what I feel contributes a lot to like the sort of misconception that CRTs aren't that good as far as like image quality, even if it's in the context of retro games like this. Because it's like, so much of that misconception comes from the fact that so many people, the CRTs they had, were old models from the 90s and even 80s, and where composite pretty much was the max they got.
Don't make me say it.
Like, components wasn't really a thing for
I'm a
CRTs
cleaner.
until it got into the 2000s, and by that point, it was like 5 to 10 years away from being phased out entirely for LCDs and HD displays.
I want to die. What?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first commercial plasma screens were coming out in, what, 2004, 2005?
Yeah, something like that.
Because that was the point where VHS was being phased out and DVD
Totally.
was a thing. Because I was talking to someone a while back about how I need to, like, we were talking about, I don't remember what films it was we were talking about, but I was saying that I need to get some of the films which I've got on DVD on Blu-ray because they're formatted for CRT. And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Okay, watch this, right? Relatively newer DVD film." And I was like, "Okay, that looks fine, right?" So yeah, that looks okay. Went and got the original release of the TV show Avatar.
Yeah.
Put it on, and she was like, "That's really blurry. That looks horrible." And I was like, "That's because it was formatted for a CRT release." Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, because it's like standard CRTs, they only go up to 480i is the thing. Because there was like a brief moment where like the manufacturers are trying to put out HD CRTs or like ED TVs, where the idea was like they're still CRTs, but they're capable of higher resolution. But the problem with those, and kind of like why they're kind of frowned upon as far as like viable displays for retro gaming purposes, is the fact that they impose a bit of digital processing on top of it, which defeats the whole purpose of analog displays in the first place, because you don't have that processing on top of it to like impose any amount of input lag. Anyway, here's the suplex you're talking about.
Yes! Maximum manliness.
Followed by one of the best cutscenes ever.
Well, no, I'm just the chef.
What's in your right hand, Chico?
Yeah, well, so is Steven Seagal.
Please don't.
Look at all this blood everywhere. The
arms
meat they're
down.
cooking, it's fucking raw.
No, it's not like that. This gun is a...
Don't move, amigo.
Please, don't shoot.
Stay still.
Ow!
Headbutting a rock was cool, but have you even tried headbutting a bullet?
What were you doing here?
His grenades just weave everywhere like they're in an
Our head chef
Itano
always tells
circus.
us that an ideal kitchen is a kitchen clean enough that you can lick the floor. Anyway, it's the least that I can do for them.
The others, the chef, the waiters, where are they?
Those guys with the strange smiles. You saw them?
It's dangerous, Aki. Get out of here.
Awesome.
He is awesome.
A nice chap.
Yeah, totally. Back to Con.
Oh, that's Master's game, son.
Yeah. Don't worry, he'll get more moments. But yeah, the fire's gone, so we can just keep going through here. But yeah, it's definitely the sort of thing with this game, how certain characters really do get, like, more play than others.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Suda 51's always had a soft spot for wrestling. By which I mean he has a gigantic boner for it.
Oh, absolutely. And even, but it's like, it does feed back, though, into a part where, like, when it came to this game, like, the ambition he had was way bigger than what was able to be fit onto these two GameCube discs.
Oh, yeah. I take it you've read Hand in Killer 7.
I have, or at least, like, the major parts of it that have been, like, translated and whatnot, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, I know about all the different details, like Jaco's checkbox. There are, like, other details about, like, how the characters were supposed to be, like a bit more emphasis on certain character dynamics or traits that just do not exist in the game, or implied to the point that you would almost miss they exist. Like the fact that there's like some possible like a love triangle-esque like romantic sexual tension between Kaide, Dan, and Coyote. Mostly as far as, like, just the weird beef that Coyote and Dan have between each other.
Yeah, I think, don't they mention in the manual that Coyote and Dan hate each other?
Yeah, and it's like the only, like, other, like, info about that you get in-game is when you hover over their screens in the save room. Because, like, they get different, they get different voice clips each chapter. And, like, and some of them, obviously, it seems like they don't make a whole lot of sense. Screw it. I kept, they gave me 2 chances to get the counterattack, but I think I might be, like, forgetting to, like, hit the right button with that. I forget. Is that, like, a...
Yeah, I can never remember what it is.
Because instinctually, I always feel like it should be like, oh yeah, you shoot, just like you do with everything, but it might also be something just you do with Y. I don't know. But yeah, let's just keep going.
But yeah, you were saying about Coyote and Dan.
Yeah, just the fact that, like, the reason they hate each other is possibly over, like, some, like, sexual tension as far as, like, them, liking Kaide. But also that the voice clips they have when you're at the character select menu is, like, out of context, they sound like nothing. But some of them, like, some of the things Dan says in certain chapters are meant to be, like, specifically directed towards Coyote. And vice versa.
I remember one of Coyote's that sticks in my mind is I'm going, what did you say?
Yeah, which I think might be, like, the sort of thing where, like, it's directed towards Dan as if he's trying to, like, start some shit with him.
Yeah, that would make sense, yeah.
And then there's also the fact that there's, like, a major character point about Kevin is that he's gay.
Yeah. Not that you'd ever know if you know, didn't investigate pretty much everything to do with the game.
Well, yeah, even that detail I don't even think is in this game is the thing. He's like, they just...
They give... certain it's not, yeah.
Yeah, they practically give nothing to Kevin to work off of, just because they were like, what can we do to, like, play off of, like, some albino mute? Like, those are really his only distinguishing factors, so it's like, man, it always goes back to how, like, the idea of a Killer 7 remake would be awesome, but only if it were for Suda to fully realize a lot of those plot elements that got left on the cutting room floor. Because there was a whole lot more to it between, like, the characters that I was talking about, the fact that it was actually going to have more direct connections with the Silver Case.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in total the game was going to be about twice as long as it actually was.
Yeah. And it's still amazing that we got what we did, and that Shinji Mikami was willing to, like, stand behind Suda to make sure that it happened.
Yeah. Here we go. Almost everything we know about Kevin is from supplementary material.
Yep.
He's gay, or at least was in love with a man. His voice apparently has the ability to summon gods. His eyes are said to shine in the dark, and he once fought the pharmaceutical mafia in Miami. In-game, however, he gets absolutely zero story content of his own.
God, that's more reason why we need a remake. I want that, like, Kevin-only chapter where you just, like, take on the pharmaceutical mafia. That sounds dope as shit.
Well, one of the things as well is that his ability to turn invisible is supposed to be because he's a master of disguise.
Yeah.
So,
which
like,
that part actually is something that, like, is visibly shown in the game itself. But that's,
yeah,
like...
At the very end.
Yeah, which is, like, to kind of show a major thing about why the Killer 7 have the powers that they do.
Yeah.
Because they're succeeding at the things that they were unable to succeed at in life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, like, I can just imagine if, you know, in like, the ideal version of this game.
Yeah.
Just sort of like a Hitman-style stage where you have to go through this pharmaceutical mafia complex, which is a wonderful thing to say.
Yeah.
Picking up new disguises so that you can blend in your sections.
Okay, got him. Good. Yeah, admittedly, I feel like describing it as Hitman style in a Killer 7 game, I feel is almost antithetical to what Killer 7 is, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, just rather than picking up odd engravings, you pick up a costume or whatever.
Totally. Yeah, and it would be the sort of thing where it's like if you try to go through a door, it's like it automatically stops you because you're not supposed to break cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, if they were able to get, like, more chapters into this game that were more like the one that Dan gets, where it's essentially based around his character and past, but for everyone, like, that'd be great. Because otherwise, what's left of this game, they basically have it structured in a way where the, oh, goddammit, I was not paying attention, I didn't hear the laugh. But, the way, like, it would basically be set up in a way where, like, we're basically in this part of the story for Killer 7 where it's the start of the main plot, which is similar to how the first mission after the prologue in the Silver Case is the start of the true story. And it's the sort of thing where it always alternates between covering like the main plot thread and weird side stuff that is supposed to God damn it, I let go of the aim button, so like whichever button I pressed would not have worked.
I know you're supposed to hit something when you see the lightning flash.
Yeah, I know that, and I'm starting to think that might be something that like I'm supposed to press Y for, because I always, again, in my mind, even though I've played this game before and I eventually learned it across my playthroughs, I keep thinking, oh, everything is supposed to be with the A button. Like, why would it be anything else?
Yeah, I kind of assume that the original idea for the game was prologue, story chapter, character chapter, and just go back and forth like that.
That does feel like it's
Suda is a big fan of that kind of method of storytelling.
Yeah, because like the way it is in the Silver Case is that it's prologue to establish the world and mood, then it's followed by main story, then it's followed by side story that establishes something that's related to the core themes, but with a different setting and characters. The chapter following that is all based around a specific character. Then the chapter following that is another side story that has to do with something plot adjacent. And then the chapter after that goes back to the main plot and resolves it. Killer 7 goes through the exact same structure.
So does Killer is Dead to a lesser extent.
Kinda, yeah, but it obviously has a lot more chapters to work with in that game. It's kind of split up in a way where it's almost more akin to like a 13 episode anime, you know, like one of those really short seasons that gets a low budget.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I didn't get the cutscene yet for the drawbridge going down.
I always screw this bit up.
Oh wait, no, it does. It only happens after you go through. For some reason, man.
Yeah, there's always one I wind up getting wrong. Oh,
that's
being chased.
Yeah, that was close.
He was a sneaky fellow, was that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back to Harmon's room and drop off some of our blood. And then we'll get close to the end. What time is it? Oh yeah, it's almost 1 on my end, but we started like half an hour later than I would have expected just because of the technical shit we had to sort out. But
yeah,
I'm definitely thinking maybe at this point it will be more like, no, we're just gonna settle on doing like 2 chapters at a time, which is to say, like, we did the first chapter and we're doing the first half of this chapter, which might as well be its own chapter because it still goes on for about the same length.
Yeah. I mean, the regular chapters are about 2.5 hours. This one's still like 90 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. See, I think it'll be more like, yeah, so I guess May is just gonna be Killer 7 month. Because for the foreseeable future, until I get my VTuber model all ready so that I can start going to that more, I'm actually taking a bit of a break from doing the nightly streams that I've done. So basically doing this once a week is basically all I got for stream content, just to stall for time. Though based on how this is going, it might end up working out in a way where I'm just going to this might end up working in a way where, like, halfway through this whole playthrough, like, my Doom guy Hayabusa is going to take a break, and then you're going to be seeing the new guy.
Great. Now I need to get an animated GIF that only moves when I talk of a Yoko Taro style sub puppet.
No, it's still fine. I think it's still perfectly fine as it is. I mean, to be fair, if I were able to get other guests on this show, I would also probably resort to the same sort of JPEG kind of indicator of, this is the guest I have on the show today. Because I'm cheap. Yep, absolutely. Time for more raving.
I can't remember, they never really explained who this guy is, other than it's the Vinculum Gate.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's the sort of thing where I'm pretty sure the detail of it is obviously in hand in Killer7, and it's probably and it's probably one of those details in there where, like, it still is probably super accurate to how he is in the game, because hand in Killer7 has a lot of things in it that are explicitly based on old drafts of the game's story before it got cut down to what it currently is. Yeah, which always makes it very confusing as far as how you're trying to, like, decipher what the hell even happens in this.
It's kind of like Silent Hill 2, where you've got the surface story, but there's enough there that you're like, okay, I need to do some reading to find out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, and at least
and then you do, and you're like, oh my god, I've made a mistake.
Yeah, at least in Silent Hill 2's defense, it does at least, like the stuff that you have to interpret, it doesn't take the place of, like, very crucial details as far as, like, understanding what the core plot is and, like, why things work the way they do.
Yeah. So, like, with this, you might, like, every single writer of the plot might as well start off with, your guess is as good as mine, but...
Yeah. Oh, this is a good comment. Anything Suda one puts out is outsider art and must not be compared to mere sane things.
Yes.
I can get behind that sentiment, absolutely. But that said, even then, it's like, I keep bringing up the silver case in terms of, like, the plot structure. But, like, I bring that up as well because at least in the silver case's case, well, that was a weird thing to say. In the case of the silver case, things do a lot better to kind of line up, to the point where the more obscure things that go up for interpretation do not kind of get in the way of trying to interpret what the core events are.
Yeah.
Because I keep bringing it up every time with this game that, like, the main problem I have with this game's story is that the single most important event that is supposed to be revealed near the end, which, I mean, spoilers for a 15-year-old plus game, but who fucking cares?
An infamous 15-plus-year-old game.
Yeah, that, like, the hit on the original Smith Syndicate and formation of the Killer7, I feel like that is the one thing about this game's plot that is too important to try and leave up to vague interpretations. Because it's kind of important, especially as how it pertains to the real main character. Because, you know, he was responsible for that.
It's... Yeah, I mean, with stuff like the Silver Case, it's one of those ones where you can piece together about, I'd say, 60 to 70% of the plot by yourself.
Absolutely.
And then you go do some reading, and it helps put all the pieces together for you. So you're like, oh, okay, so that's when that happened. That's why that happened.
Yeah, you get the greater context for the remaining 40%, and then, like, anything that still doesn't make sense, it's at least easier to accept as it's not supposed to have a clear answer. Like things that go
meant to be ambiguous.
Yeah, and it's like when you're able to pull that off well, when it's as I say, the ambiguity of certain details do not detract from the things that need to be understood, is like, that works. You know, Silent Hill 2 does that well because there's no ambiguity about the fact that James totally killed his wife, and that he's feeling the guilt from it. It's
We've
just
been
all
expecting
the
you.
different imagery behind the monsters in the town that
If you will,
go up
right
to
this way,
interpretation
please.
as far as to
Mr.
what
Fukushima
extent
is
is
waiting
that
for
guilt
you
affecting
inside.
him.
Hey there, baby. Want to beat an old man around? Nah? Oh, well, I tried.
I can at least introduce you to this girl I know. She might teach you a thing or two. Harmon, like
I
we
always wanted
know
to be a tea
like this is
master.
a kink positive
It's one
community.
of the
We
reasons
understand,
I
but
chose this profession.
we're just concerned that you might be letting this girl take advantage of you and then it's turning into abuse.
Which
Harmon,
profession
we're here to
may
help.
that be?
Again, not kink shaming, just kink asking why.
You're an interesting man, and you ask a very difficult question.
There's plot, but it's a side effect.
Perhaps it's a
it's-
sense of humor
yeah.
that can only come from someone
Like,
who
if it
lives
was
his life
literally
on the
anyone else,
edge.
say that,
I wanted
you
to
know,
become a
the
politician who could be a
standout
true
scenes in this,
leader.
it was a case
But
of
the
someone
world
saying,
of
wouldn't it be
politics
cool if this
was
happened?
like a
And it just fit in the
stage
plot
where
around
people
it.
only acted.
But with
They
Suda,
were
it's
merely
like, no, the cool
actors
things
playing
are the
the
plot.
politician.
Like, they're not
Did you
wedged
ever
in
think
there.
of
They're the
becoming an
tentpoles.
actor?
Well,
Absolutely.
it just so happened that I got a call from the government asking me
everything
if
is
I
there
wanted to
for a
become
reason, but what
an
that reason is,
architect
I don't
for
know.
them.
Yeah.
Architect.
At least like
You mean to
yeah.
design and devise?
That's even with like the
Yes.
criticisms I bring
I
up
took the
about like
offer with delight.
how this plot works compared to the other dense stories that Suda
Is
has
that
made is
the
like
only thing
if
you
it did
do,
not have as
Mr.
strong
Fukushima,
of an audio and
the
visual
founder?
style as it does here, like it would not have been in my top 100 games of all time still. Like its
mean,
its
some
reputation
refreshments.
is still well
Certainly.
deserved.
I mean, just look at the HD port. All they did was make it sharper and smooth off the edges.
Yeah, it's just it is that
it
game.
didn't need much done to it to begin with.
Yeah, just the internal
It's a
resolution of
really
it all
old
just had to
story.
go from 480p
Union
to
7,
like
a group made
1080p
up
and
of 7
beyond.
young men,
Which is
drew
funny
up
enough
the
like the
Yakumo
thing that
Party
people had
cabinet
already been
policy.
doing like
The heat
for
of
years
factional
in Dolphin
politics
through
eventually
emulation.
broke down
It's just
the
now
Union
it's even
7.
easier for people to be able to
It was like
experience
a
that if they
warm
want,
welcome
which is
in
like
the world of
you know,
politics.
I'm all for my retro games and
became
experiencing
clear to
them
me
originally
then.
as intended, but as we
This country
went on
didn't
about
have what it
when
took
recommending
to
to Raph,
compete
like
with the rest of the
yeah,
world.
absolutely, like get that Steam
It must
version.
be wonderful
It's
to
real
have
good.
such a bright secretary.
There's
Not as bright as you,
ways
Mr.
and
Smith.
means of playing it faithfully.
Thank
But at the end of the day, you know, I just want to be. I
Hand
want to be
over
able
the
to play
Yakima.
it easily.
Lady, where are your manners?
Yeah, Lollipop Chainsaw I actually really enjoy, just because it's simple, it's straightforward, and it's fun, and it has some absolutely amazing moments and jokes in it.
I've still not played it, and I know that I mentioned the reason why is because of the disappointment from Shadows of the Damned just like made me skip over it entirely. And I know that like the fact that it is like more of a James Gunn joint, if anything, I think gives me a bit more hope that I might enjoy it on that front, as opposed to how Shadows just ended up being what it was.
Yeah, I'd say like Shadows of the Damned is between the two. Shadows of the Damned is a case of what could have been, and Lollipop Chainsaw is this is what you're getting.
Yes,
And
yeah, Lollipop is like
it's more
there's
complete for that.
no there's no mistaking that that's more or less what they intended for. It's just that, you know, like it's very much a case where because of the James Gunn involvement, it is much more clearly splitting the difference between Suda's involvement with his team and James Gunn and like his writing talents.
Yeah, I think you can see Suda's involvement in the gameplay and James Gunn's involvement with the script and the dialogue.
Absolutely. But yeah.
And for my money, that's great. It's a very short game. I think you can get through it in about 10 hours or so.
Yeah.
Less than that even. But it is a lot of fun. Just not one that you want to replay.
Yeah, that's true. I might. Yeah, and considering I bought a used copy of Shadows of the Damned for that LP, and I've not touched it since then, since recording it, it might be. Yeah, I don't know, because it's like I may want to like try it at some point just to see. I mean, that might be another thing that'd be cool to like stream instead of dedicate to an LP that feels like half of it's a shitpost. Which by the way, we might still recommend, if only for the latter half of each videos in which we just talk about Kuriyami Dance.
Yeah, it was a manga podcast with a bit of an LP in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I do think in the retrospect of things, that is the one I have like the least that I have like the least fondness for overall, just because of how. Because I think there's a difference between when dead air shows up in an LP, if it's during a moment that is legitimately cool to see, versus there's nothing. Like,
yeah.
like the idea that like commentators on an LP need to speak over every single minute is not true. Like, if there is a moment in a game that is legitimately awesome and deserves its due, like, sure, absolutely shut the hell up for it. But
oh, yeah.
There were moments just looking back through that LP during the gameplay moments where it really did feel like, yeah, we were straining to kind of like figure out what to talk about during these moments of just kind of boringness.
Well, that's the problem with Shadows of the Damned, is that, like most of Suda's games, there is a big bit of what could have been. But, I mean, with Shadows of the Damned, it's less what could have been and more why didn't you try harder, you know? It feels like with some, like if they had gone full Resident or full Army,
yeah, absolutely.
If they got James Gunn involved with that one, it would have been.
Oh god, that would have. I think that would have like saved it more in my eyes, at least as far as being able to let me kind of accept it more as what it is. Because yeah, it's just leaning more into the things that are very clearly inspired by kind of like schlocky horror movies, you know, like Evil Dead stuff, whatever. Oh fuck it, you know what? Forget James Gunn. Get Sam Raimi on board if we're going with the Evil Dead references.
I don't know, because it's a full chapter that rips him off. He might have a few problems.
I don't know. He seems like an alright guy. I think he would be like humored by the homage. But also Grunt Fodder. But Grunt Fodder at least does bring up a good point as far as like making me feel a bit better about about that whole LP. At least I didn't lower myself to reading fan fiction.
It was touch and go at a couple of points, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. I mean, like, at least with Kuriyami Dance, that wasn't fanfic. That was official, and it was actually legitimately good.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
a lot of it was us going like, okay, so here's my conjecture.
Which is valid, because I think that's something that's always fun to do in a Suda 51 story. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, I don't know what I would have done if I decided to just pull up some real shitty fan fiction. I've already been rewatching, like, I've been watching through some of Gigaboot's like stream archives for games they played, mainly the Kingdom Hearts games. And there was just one moment where, as you would imagine, because it's Kingdom Hearts, someone that was like on like a Discord call with them just decided to troll him by going, I am going to read this incredibly gay Sora/Riku fanfic, and it's just like you could just feel everyone visibly die.
I remember actually someone talking about what was it? Kingdom Hearts shitposts.
Oh.
I was like, you don't need to make shitposts when Kingdom Hearts itself is. That game is a living shitpost.
Yeah.
You could just tell someone, like, take any random 30-minute segment from any of the games and explain it to someone who's unfamiliar with it, and they would think that you were making shit up.
Man, it's like every time I either learn new things or be reminded of certain things from Kingdom Hearts, it gives me pause, and I go, you know what? Maybe I've been too hard on Kojima all this time.
You're sitting there like, I waited 15 years for this shit.
It's like, at least Kojima's bullshit, like, does not make me feel like my brain cells are actively dying the way Nomura's bullshit does.
I will say Nomura's bullshit has better payoffs as a whole. Because
I mean, I've not gone to the point where I've seen anything of Kingdom Hearts 3, so I don't know if that does have any payoff that really works. I know there was payoff with Kingdom Hearts 2, at least on the gameplay front, I think, at least for me.
The second game is the best in the series, no question.
Yeah, that is the only game where, like, if something came to be where I decided to, like, do a playthrough of a Kingdom Hearts game, it would just be that. I wouldn't try to subject myself or viewers to the entire series. Because, A, I already tried Chain of Memories, and I was like, card battling, fuck off. And then there's the matter... Yes, and then there's the matter of 358 is just a movie because the alternative is playing a bad DS game.
And Mr. Mills has a job for you.
If you want to play Chain of Memories or Days, either read a synopsis of them because they are vital to the story, or watch Just a Pancake's abridged versions of them because they tell you everything you need to know whether you're.
Is one of the elite
yeah, because otherwise it's like, Cage 2 is really the only one I have the most interest in playing, and even then, that's with the stipulation that I would be skipping every single cutscene.
Syndicates from all over the world run their
there are some brilliant moments, like genuinely exciting scenes in the second one.
Well, yeah, there are. And then there's some insane stuff that they try to play off straight, like Goofy taking a traumatic head injury and everyone acting like he's fucking dead.
I'll pay for this. It's like the thing which I love most about it though is that up until Kingdom Hearts came out, right, Kingdom Hearts 2 in particular, everyone was like, okay, Mickey Mouse is boring. And then that came out and people are like, no, actually Mickey Mouse is kind of a badass. Where did you get that idea? Well, I saw him in this Japanese action RPG and oh my god, my eyes are going closed.
There's too much and it's too anime and too Disney to hold in a single logical world.
See, the biggest problem I had with Kingdom Hearts 3 was that there wasn't enough
we won't see any fireworks
because they pretty much
for 65 years we gave
everything
we had to restoring this country.
DLC, but it was too little, too late. It would have been a much better game.
And even then, isn't the DLC just like Nomura getting back at Final Fantasy 15 and the fact that he didn't get to make verses?
Of the same country that first put us here.
Bits of it, yeah. There's the entire secret, super secret, double special secret.
This is what happened.
Did I mention the word secret?
Boys.
Yes.
Now,
which is practically shot the first trailer for Versus.
Who the hell do you think you are? This is exactly the reason I hate young pricks like him.
Because this is his own characters now. These are his donut skills.
Kid,
You can do whatever you want with them now, so they are now canon to Kingdom Hearts. And as far as Square's concerned, Kingdom Hearts
blow your head off.
Purview. You know, it's essentially a walled garden.
For better or worse.
That gun?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I will give him his credit.
We're prepared to die.
Like, the way that he works in terms of plot is
if it will make you happy.
End each game in the
but
series
it
with
won't make
some incredibly cryptic thing that is going to make the fans go, "Oh my god, what the fuck does that mean?"
But it's how we've
it
always
means
settled
like 3 years later.
True.
You don't even have balls to pull trigger.
I mean, I'd even say to his credit, I can kind of respect his like character design chops, if only because he keeps adding belts and zippers and sequins and whatnot to his designs out of pure spite for people that mock him for it. Which means that, like, admittedly, I've mocked him for it. And now that I realize that spite is fueling it, it's like, well, I guess I have to like it now.
I mean, you can't deny his designs are recognizable.
True.
You know? There's a lot of character designers out there, you see their stuff and you're like, that could be anyone. But with his stuff, you recognize that shit from fucking Orbit.
Yeah.
I
there is no like with one of the most infamous ones was Final Fantasy X, where he's like,
it's with Lulu, isn't it? With the belt dress.
He was like, okay, we're going to push this new engine, this new technology to the limit. We're going to create a character whose outfit is a huge gothic dress made out of belts. And the animators got their revenge by making sure she only ever appeared from the waist up in cutscenes.
Yeah, because they were like, can't we just make the belt dress like a single mesh? No, every belt.
Always be together.
Yeah. Like her,
and yet that game still does not look as good or consistent as the bouncer.
Yeah. Well, the bouncer had shitloads of post-processing effects on it, whereas to the point where it's ugly as hell.
I don't know. I think looking at it, it's got its charm to it.
Oh, it absolutely does. But when you just see all the smearing and the softening effects, it just looks horrible.
But 60 FPS, which I think is the ultimate victory that game gets over any of the Final Fantasies or other Square games after, because they were 30.
I mean, it's probably one of the more technically advanced games for most of the PlayStation 2's lifespan, never mind the launch.
Yeah.
Like, they specifically went out of their way to make that game look as complex as they possibly could.
Oh, yeah.
And by and large, yes, it looks a lot better than it has any right to. But I think they just over-egged the pudding and it just winds up looking horrible.
60 belts per second. Yes, that was probably Nomura's criteria.
Excuse me. We're next gen now. We're going for K belts. Thank you very much. you belts so detailed you can see the cow they were carved off of.
Oh man,
the dream.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to play KH2 for this stream. But again, like, as we've shown by playing this GameCube version, I am going to do the thing that every other streamer LPR is a coward to do in this modern day, and that I'm just going to play the PS2 Final Mix version.
No, play the PS2 version, and then have me skip the cutscenes, and then have me try and remember what happened and explain them.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. Oh, that's probably going to result in a very long series just because of, like, the times we have to figure out to schedule us to come on board for this. Yeah. But that sounds like a gimmick I am 150% down for.
Yeah, not let's play. Let's reinterpret.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, but there might be an extra stipulation I want to add to that, because I did actually recently find that, unsurprisingly, like, for years there have already been, like, fan translations for the Final Mix for PS2 versions of both Kingdom Hearts games, specifically because those games, when they were re-released, they already used the English voice track anyway, and all the menu stuff's the same, so it's like, no problem, just transplant that over to this. But the thing I discovered is that there's, I actually found an ISO for the PS2 version of KH2 Final Mix that lets you switch between the English and Japanese dub.
Oh god.
So it's like
English text but Japanese voices. Yes.
So it's like, I'm honestly thinking that if someone out there, like, or multiple people are that adamant about me having to watch the cutscenes again, because the last time I played KH2, it was the PS3 version, and I deliberately skipped all that shit, because I was like, once was fucking enough back in 2007, I'm done. But it's like, if someone really wants to see that, I will compromise and I will have the cutscenes run their course, but in Japanese. And also, maybe out of morbid curiosity, see how better or worse those Atlantica rhythm game sections are.
I play them on mute because they cause me physical pain.
Same. That's exactly what I did when I played the PS3 fucking version. Because I could not. I was like, these rhythm game props are already dead fucking simple. Like, this isn't 2DX. I can just do this.
Yeah, fuck you, Finny Fun. I am not listening to your shit anymore.
Yeah. Oh, and it's like, God, that shit was already so horrid in English. I can't imagine, like, how just as bad it could be in Japanese. Oh god.
I think it would be one of those things where it would be easier to stomach because we can't hear them mangling the lyrics.
And also the fact that it was an original song for that world and wasn't in the original movie, there's probably a chance that it was made with, like, Japanese, like, song and vocal sensibilities in mind.
Yeah.
But even then, the composition behind it is still fucking trash, and I'm pretty sure Yoko Shimomura feels intense guilt over making that in the first place.
just picturing her, like, writing away the notes, and after every couple of verses, just slugs back a shot of whiskey and gets back to work.
Yeah. It's like, God damn it, Nomura.
What have you made me do?
My talent's going to such waste.
I used to be loved. I used to write music. Now, all I do is fabricate lies.
But yeah, that's definitely something that's gonna be... After this, I'm very much gonna, like, add that to my list of stream ideas, but, like, based on just what different, like... What people may be more interested in watching. Do they want to go the route of watching all the cutscenes in Japanese, which means obviously hearing Japanese Donald and Goofy and Mickey? Because I'd like to see how accurate they get the voices down for that. Or just... or just skip all that and do what you suggested, where I skip all the cutscenes and you have to guess based on memory what the fuck happened.
Yeah, but, like, full spoilers off, so I'm like, okay, and he's doing this because this guy is... Oh, wait, I didn't mention him. Okay, so back in, like, this game...
Yes, okay. Oh, man, this is fun.
Just full spoilers off with me, like, creating a unified theory of Kingdom Hearts, but also I'm, like, blasted on caffeine, so I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
Oh, God, this is... Oh.
That would be... nuts.
This will be the greatest Kingdom Hearts playthrough to ever grace the internet.
we're giving it the respect, attention, and adoration it deserves.
Which is absolutely none.
Which is no.
Yeah, the only respect and adoration is gonna be, like, for the gameplay itself, because even as flashy as it is, it's pretty good Flash.
It's still, like, Kingdom Hearts 2 is legitimately one of my favorite action RPGs.
Yeah. I still need to, like, that's the other reason for why I want to stream, is that I still need to get through it on critical mode. Because I've done Proud, and I was like, yeah, that was totally manageable, but considering how much people talk up how solid of a higher difficulty level critical is, because it does more than just adjust damage values, it's like, that seems like something that would be up my alley, especially as someone that is into hard action games.
Well, I mean, if you've watched any of the speedruns they've done of it at AGDQ, there was one where they did it, I think it was like 3-4 years ago, where they did it on level 1 critical mode.
Yeah, that's the thing I've heard about that's exclusive to that, which I don't know if I would do that as part of the stream. I feel like that would be something I save for, like, a second critical playthrough once I'm familiar with, like, what that mode's tricks are. But it's
yeah,
like, it's cool that that's a thing that's in there, because it, like, even if mechanically and in terms of execution it's nowhere near a Devil May Cry, it at least seems to be, like, confident enough that it can deliver, like, a decent, simple action game.
Yeah, like, I've never bothered with critical mode, or with level 1 critical, because frankly my neckbeard isn't that thick enough. But watching speedruns or high skill playthroughs of it is, like, completely nuts.
Yeah.
And there's one guy, I think it's Bloody Biscuits he's called, where he's modded the game so he can fight multiples of the same boss, or, like, several members of Organization 13 at once.
Oh my god, that is some Donguri modding DMC4 to fight 2 Credo Angelos at once. That is
exactly like, I think that might actually been where he got the idea, but it is...
If that's some good fucking inspiration if I've ever seen one, because those Credo Angelo fights are sick.
It's absolutely nuts, because I'm not sure, like, basically... with the one which I saw was Dual Sephiroths at level 1.
Oh dear.
And if I remember, the Kingdom Hearts 2 version of Sephiroth is meant to be one of the hardest fights in the entire series.
Oh yeah. Obviously not counting the final mix exclusive stuff, like when they just threw in Lingering Will.
Oh no, harder than that.
Oh wow, okay. Admittedly, I didn't get to fighting Admittedly, I did not get to fighting Lingering Will when I last tried it. I just focused on getting through the content that I remember not getting through in the original, because I definitely did not... I only got around to beating both versions of Sephiroth in 1 and 2 when I got to the HD versions, because I was a lot older and better at games by that point.
Yeah, see, I never bothered with the Lingering Will because he's just not fun.
Oh.
You know? Like, Lingering Will, if you don't play perfectly, then you might as well just restart.
Yeah, but that's RPG super bosses to a wide extent. But yeah, that doesn't sound nearly as fun if it's that much more rigid than Sephiroth.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to a big fan of the Shin Megami Tensei series.
Oh yeah, that has the biggest dick super boss of all time.
Demi-Fiend in Digital Devil Saga is widely considered one of the hardest optional bosses of all time, because again, if you do not play it perfectly, and you're playing on hard mode as well.
Yeah, and you're dealing with the luck the game draws out during its fights as well.
Well, by and large, the luck mechanics are, you can mitigate them to a high degree, you know? It's it gets a lot of its reputation for difficulty because, like, you need to remember that status spells work, whereas in most games, like, poison's useless. And here, it's not only useful, but it's mandatory, because some really tough enemies, are only weak to poison. So you need to remember to use your status buffs and debuffs, because they actually work for the change.
Yeah. Grunt's asking, can you overlevel for those fights at all? I don't know if it's a case of overlevel so much as get up to the same level.
I mean, in the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3, they're designed for the character that's at level 99, so no, you absolutely cannot.
Well, we had moved on to talking about Demi-Fiend in, like, the DDS, so I assumed that was what I was referring to, because I at least know because the thing that I think almost everyone remembers when they deal with Demi-Fiend is that, like, if you're, like, assigning certain skills to your characters that are to make it immune to certain statuses, he just uses Gaia Rage to instantly wipe you, because it's like, fuck you, you're not playing by my rules anymore, get out.
Well, the thing is, he works like a player would.
Yeah, totally.
You can't overlevel for the Demi-Fiend fight, because it's recommended that you take him on anywhere between level 80 and 99.
Yeah, it's like you basically have to be end game to have a chance at that.
I mean, he only really triggers once you get to the final, I think it's the final save point, at the very least, final section of the final dungeon.
Yeah.
But essentially, the way he works is he works the way a player would, where there's several statuses and elements in DDS which aren't in Nocturne. So, like, there's no earth element, for example. So that's really the only element that he's massively weak to. So you just start using that and you can bypass a lot of his damage. But say you load each of your characters up with immunity to the main elements.
Yeah.
He acts like any normal player would and go, this guy's immune to absolutely everything I'm throwing at him. Okay, nuke the fucker.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he goes ahead and drops an attack on you, which does 4 digits worth of damage when the most you can have is 999.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, just...
He's just like, nope, not dealing with this.
Everything is unsurvivable unless you play it the way that he wants you to.
And it is a very strict method of playing it. There was someone who worked out an alternate way of doing it, but even still, that fight takes the better part of an hour.
Yeah, I don't have the patience or will to get through that, but I am, like, I 100% commend anyone that is able to get through that. Because, like, that feels like the kind of feat that is worthy of, like, of being able to accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, when DDS2 came out, I'd spent a couple of weeks doing all essentially the post-game stuff in the first game. But you can only do Demi-Fiend on New Game Plus.
Right.
And I was like, no, I no. I don't hate myself enough to play this. I'm just like, no, I'm leaving this one. Fuck that. Even I've got my limits.
Only experience was seeing post-game super bosses, stuff like this Gaia, where it's pretty much all about ludicrously big numbers. Yeah, it's just that series really is like the epitome of numbers go up, and just like pushing it farther than most other RPGs would like reasonably want you to go.
Yeah, and something like, say, Fire Emblem, it requires an amount of tactical thought. Not so much Three Houses, because they got rid of stuff like the weapon triangle, where this beats this and this beats this. But with this Gaia, it gets to a point where it's less, okay, I need to do X hit points in order to trigger this next phase. And it gets to, how many hits can I drop this guy in before he kills everyone?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, after a while, the numbers stop mattering, and it becomes about percentages. Like, okay, if I use this attack on this guy, then it's going to take off 25% of his health. That's a good start.
Totally.
So eventually the numbers are just meaningless. And yeah, I actually told my girlfriend not to play Disgaea because she's a completionist.
Oh dear, yeah, that is the biggest trap ever for anyone with those kind of tendencies.
And I was telling her, like, you can consider Disgaea finished when you consider Disgaea finished. Because, you know, you can effectively level up your characters into infinity. And she's just like, oh, that's a bad idea. And I'm like, yeah, stay away from this. You will not have a life left after this. It will suck out your innards. And I may mean that in a literal way.
Yeah. It'll be like you took a sip from the wrong grail, and now you are just like endlessly aging.
I'm just like, no, this will consume you. There will be nothing left but bones and a controller.
Yeah, man, that is a pretty succinct description. It is difficult to out-obsess a JRPG. That is some truth.
She's played The Last of Us about 20-odd times so far.
I mean, we said JRPGs, so...
Yeah, that's just for starters. I could easily see her getting obsessed. She when she gets obsessed with a game, she does not stop. She's like the Terminator.
Oh dear.
So
yeah,
and he's actually probably watching now. Hi, dear. But shit, I just remembered. Whoopsie.
May or may not be getting a few choice words after this, I guess.
May or may not be single after this.
No, or just getting the couch anytime you visit.
No, that's where the cats sleep. I get the floor.
Ah, yes, of course. Gotta make sure the cats are properly privileged.
I'm not putting them out just because I'm acting like a dickhead. God.
Okay, but yeah, this was a fun little just tangent into whatever as we got to the save point. Next stream, which will be next Wednesday from now, because I don't have any other like free days during the week, because I got 4 work days instead of 3, as unlike at the start of the year. But that's kind of how it is. Hopefully by the time like the 3rd or 4th week of playing this, like the VTuber model will be ready, and then I can get that going and go back to kind of supplementing this with the with like the nightly streams. Oh, thanks. Yeah, and thank you too for stopping by for this, Grunt. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice to have viewers. But...
Yeah. Yes. Some viewers that are familiar as well as new ones. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, stop by again. This is basically what we like.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, pretty much anytime there's gonna be a stream I do where I have Kaboom on board, you can very much expect it to be like during this time frame. Yep. Yeah. Just post. Yeah, glad to know. Yeah, glad to know which parts of the internet you're from. That's good. You're in good company.
Let's run this shit into the ground.
Mm-hmm. God, if only if I ever get like far enough into this streaming thing where I decide to make like sub emotes, you know for damn sure I'm just gonna steal some from something awful.
No, you need one that's like anytime we start talking about random shit, it just Something along the lines of, oh god, another fucking tangent. Just when people start getting annoyed, just start spamming one that's like, get back to the plot.
Open colon, it's a Suda 51 analogy, end colon. Alright. Have a good day, people.
Later.
Peace.